Well, let me know if I speak too fast. But for the recording, I'm just going to want to say that CT Kashimo, from what we know, is capable of defeating Yorozu. So do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe that when it comes to speed scaling, although I don't believe there's a connection between her transformed state and CT Kashimo, I do believe it's a case that we can make a connection with her base state in CT Kashimo. And I believe that CT Kashimo's ability would allow him to deform her or detransform her
Okay, why do you think that?
because he can actualize any phenomena in which is correlated to lightning. And it's the case that liquid metal is something in which he hardens, and the heating point for or the melting point for liquid metal is something in which Kashimo can actualize.
Oh, I'm sorry. The what?
The liquid metal, that's what she uses to transform.
No, you said there's something. Just repeat the last thing you said.
His lightning is able to melt the liquid metal in which is hardened. It can bring it back to its liquid state and deform her or detransform her.
Based on what?
Because it said he's able to actualize any state of affairs in which is correlated to lightning.
Yeah, I heard that part. I heard all
Yeah,
that.
lightning produces heat.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes, you understand that metal is conductive of electricity, right?
Yeah,
It's highly conductive. Yeah, so because of the free roaming electrons, it's highly conductive, like the liquid metal. So he's able to use his ability to detransform her.
How does that mean that it would just get through all the cursed energy, whatever, and just deconstruct
because the cursed energy, she creates the metal out of the cursed energy. I don't grant that she is reinforcing her body with cursed energy outside of the metal. I believe that she turns the cursed energy into the liquid metal, which is stated, by the way, but that's irrelevant. I believe that she turns the cursed energy into the liquid metal, and then she hardens her body.
Well,
and
no,
then with that,
the metal is cursed energy.
Yeah, no, it's liquid metal created out of cursed energy.
Yeah, yes, and it has cursed energy in it.
Yo. No, bro, it's created out of cursed energy. I don't grant that it has all the same relevant. Hold on, I don't grant that my bad. It's an identity relationship between cursed energy and liquid metal in terms of everything that's true of cursed energy is that true of liquid metal in terms of her transformation. It's the same as Chose's ability. It's the case that he can turn CE into blood. I don't believe that it's still C after he transforms it into blood. I don't grant that, even if I were to say that there was a connectedness.
So with Yorozu's metal, you remember when Sukuna summoned Round Deer?
Yeah.
Okay. There's some around there. And because of the positive energy that it output, it was able to nullify the liquid metal.
Yes, because there are some properties in which are true of liquid metal and which are true of the CE because of the correlation that they have. But there's no identity relationship, meaning that whenever she uses the liquid metal to harden the body whenever she hardens her body using the liquid metal, it's not going to be the same in terms of negating CE. And then secondly speaking, the liquid metal that is applied to...
Repeat that again?
Hold on. Yeah, there's no identity relationship. There's a connective relationship, which I can clarify after if you want to ask what that means. And then secondly speaking, the liquid metal in which is applied to Sukuna is distinct from the liquid metal in which she hardens itself.
Okay, they're distinct. Are you just saying that they're different? Sure, they're different.
I don't grant that they're the same. Yeah, so can you justify that just because the positive CE is able to, the negative or positive CE is able to negate the negative CE for the application of liquid metal in that sense, that it would allow a non-bypass for the lightning in comparison to the hardened liquid metal that she has?
Bro, I genuinely don't understand what the fuck you're asking me.
Okay, bro. Okay, so you have Chosu, who's able to both use CE and then also use blood, in which is made out of CE. Whenever he uses the ability in which negates the liquid metal, is it the case that the liquid metal in which is within that scenario is identical to the liquid metal within a scenario where her body is hardened? I don't grant that they are the same because of these two distinct features.
Do you don't think that the liquid metal on her body has cursed energy flowing through it?
No, I'm fine with it having cursed energy, but it's the case that if it has the same features of liquid metal, that means it's highly conductive. And we understand that it has similar features to liquid metal. So although it is the case that obviously CE exists, I don't grant that CE is going to be something which is relevant when it comes to being a barrier in comparison to Kashimo's negation to the ability.
Okay.
Like you could just, especially because of the CT trait, or because of a CE trait. We understand it's able to bypass the CE reinforcement that Hikari has and attack the body directly. So I'm not sure why. Just because if I were to grant that there is an identity relationship or even a relevant connective relationship...
When does it say that it bypasses Hikari's reinforcement?
Bro, I got you, bro. Come on, bro. Yo, Oshi, do you have the fight or do you have the chapter for base Kashimo versus
I
Kari?
remember, if anything, the direct opposite of that being stated.
No, bro, I don't think you understand. The entire point is that normally speaking, bro, hold on, my dad's calling me.
Bro, Oshi, did you just send a fucking link, bro?
My bad. But the entire point is that on average, it's the case that his trait typically allows him to bypass the C reinforcement from the person that he's fighting. However, when it comes to Akari, he has high output to the point where he's able to ignore it. And that's just for C reinforcement. You can never justify that that translates to someone like Yorozu. It's literally stated the opposite when it comes to control.
Wait. Okay,
Hold on, I
okay.
cannot hear you.
Yeah, you can't hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Now I hear you now.
Okay. So Hikari is able to ignore Kashimo's trait due to the high output that he has, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, but that's talking about C reinforcement. Yup.
Yeah, I understand. But it's still
Yeah, and it's stated that
carcinogen,
Yorozu
right?
has bad. Yes, but it's the level of carcinogen, meaning that, for example, if
Right,
it's the case that it's a low thin layer.
So what's Yorozu's level for you to say that Kashimo can just bypass it?
Well, one, you're burden shifting, and then secondly, it's obviously a low level, as Louis stated. So one, we're
How
talking
did I
about C
burden shift?
reinforcement because I put the burden on you to justify that the reinforcement is something which is going to be relevant within this instance. And then secondly speaking, the justification on my end,
I can't do that if you're not going to scale the lightning at all.
Well, the entire point is whether or not that's going to be relevant. I don't grant that that's relevant. Whether or not it's the case that the C reinforcement is going to be relevant to negating the hardening of the body, if I even grant that, hypothetically speaking, the C reinforcement is something which is present. And then secondly, to justify my point is literally just stated that her reinforcement is low.
What?
Bro, when she's hardening her body, is it relevantly present?
The entire point is that bug armor?
Yes, the bug armor is hardened liquid metal. It's the case that it has all set of affairs in which is relevant to hardened liquid metal, which means it has a low melting point. Meaning that someone like Kashimo with lightning, who can actualize all states of affair with lightning, is able to increase the electricity heat and then transfer it to the body of Yorozu.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the general argument. But for one, I didn't burden shift because there was no level given for Kashimo in the first place. That's exactly what I'm asking for.
That doesn't mean you didn't burden shift. The burden shift is you questioning whether or not have you so any. Anyways, the burden shift is you questioning whether or not it's the case that his lightning can bypass the C reinforcement. When I'm asking whether or not the C reinforcement is something which can stop something like this in the first place, it doesn't matter what the level is. I'm not sure if the C reinforcement is relevant to this.
I can't, but I can't tell you if she has enough to withstand Kashimo's level of attack if there is no level given.
But when you say withstand Kashimo's level of attack, the entire point is you're presupposing that there is any possible or potent hypothetical where she can withstand it in the first place. So whenever you say that, you can't tell me, oh, I don't know if she can withstand the level of the attack. I don't grant that she can withstand the attack at all. I'm not sure if there exists any potent level in the first place. But I can see
hold on. So you think
what I'm talking about?
You think, for example, if Kashimo were to hit her with 1 watt of electricity, it would just destroy the liquid metal?
That's just trivially true, yes. If we presuppose my point, which is that the CE is irrelevant to the state of affairs that is actualized for her body, then 100%, yeah. The entire point is that it has a low melting point.
Hold on, when you say her body, are you talking about the bug armor? Because if so, could you just say that?
Yeah, but yeah. So one, you talked about how it's the case that the liquid metal has properties in which are shared through CE, but you're showing a different instance in which isn't the same as her armor. I'm not sure if her armor has the same features as the liquid metal she used against Sukuna, which is a part of his body and may collab with his CE. But
yeah, so it probably is because we know that Maharaga, for example, he adapted to Yorozu's liquid metal based off of the bug armor hits, right? And so through that, he was able to negate True Sphere. And Sukuna's like, yeah, well, all this shit that you're doing, it just relates back to liquid metal anyway, and I already adapted to all of that.
Yeah, he adapted to liquid metal. I don't grant that he adapted to the CE itself. So the domain and everything may be connected to liquid metal, in which he adapted to both liquid metal and the other techniques that she used. But that doesn't mean just because he adapted to liquid metal or the armor that he used that what your point is, or that your point is true.
The what? You're saying that they're different liquid metals. I'm saying that it's not that they're completely different liquid metals. They're different applications.
I'm asking you to justify that the application does not change the situation. So you're saying that
yes, liquid metal is that's what the argument was doing.
No, it didn't, bro. You just said that Maharaga is able to adapt.
That doesn't yes, Maharaga adapts to the liquid metal in general through Yorozu's use of the bug armor.
Correct. Okay, yes.
So if it's not the same.
Hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. Hold on. Okay. So it's the case that the antecedent may be distinct, as in there may be some situations in which CE is a part of the bug armor, relevantly speaking, and some situations where it's not. However, if he's adapting to the bug armor itself, which obviously is just hardened liquid metal, then it follows that in every single scenario where liquid metal is used, he's going to have an adaptation. But that's independent of CE, because it's not stated that Maharaga is only able to adapt to CE-based attacks. It says he's able to adapt to all phenomena, all attacks, everything.
Right. But by taking one attack, he's then able to get the grasp of the entire usage of the technique, right?
Correct. How is that relevant to whether or not it's imbued with CE?
What?
How is that relevant to whether or not the liquid metal armor is something which is relevant to CE reinforcement? That doesn't justify anything. All she says is that I've lost control of my liquid metal, and I'm saying that can be because the situation that she's using the liquid metal in is distinct, like the application is distinct. But can I please send the scans that you've been asking for?
Yeah, go ahead. Send whatever you're talking about.
Oshi, do you have the chapter where they comment on Kashimo's trait for one?
Oh, yeah, look, bro, it says it right here. She continues to feed the bug armor cursed energy.
Bro, you're not listening. I agree that she continues to feed the bug armor cursed energy, but why is that? Because I believe that she's turning cursed energy into liquid armor, and then that entails that the antecedent for the consequence of the armor itself is more liquid armor or liquid metal. So it will be something along the lines of, from my interpretation, CE, liquid metal, and then the hardened liquid metal. While your interpretation is CE, liquid metal, I apologize, CE, and then a bug armor. And you believe that the reinforcement also applies to the bug armor. But I'm saying, even if I were to grant that hypothetically, which I don't, there's literally no argument for that at all. I don't grant that it's going to be something in which is relevant reinforcement-wise, especially due to Kashimo's trait, alongside the fact that we know that her reinforcement is fucking ass.
Slow down. Hold on, wait. How do we know her reinforcement is ass?
Yeah, I was about to get that scan, bro. I've been saying that for the last bro.
All right, you're like talking at light speed, and
I literally told you to tell me if you want me to slow down, because I just naturally talk like that.
I just did.
Okay. Compared to other curse techniques, construction used curse energy inefficiently. In overall output, she was on par with the toughest fighters of the hand era, blah, blah, blah. But the immense consumption of energy had often caused her trouble. The consumption of energy is something which is relevant to CE manipulation. And obviously, reinforcement is also connected to CE manipulation. So if her consumption of energy is something which is inefficient, even though we know that there's obviously some... Yo, bro. Yeah, the technique is construction. Yes, correct. She uses her CT. That's correlated to manipulation.
How does that... What does that have to do with her reinforcement?
Do you want to move on, bro? I just explained it.
No, you didn't. You said...
I'll say this one more time. The entire point is that the CT is powered by CE. So if it's the case that the consumption of the CE is something which is inefficient due to the uses of the CT, it follows that that's going to be connected to your manipulation, because you're the one manipulating how much CE you're pouring into the construction ability.
No, it's the technique itself that is inefficient, though.
Justify that it's the technique itself that's inefficient rather than the application of the technique.
That's what Sukuna says and what the narrator says.
Okay, show that. You just repeated yourself. Show
okay.
it. Look at the scan.
You sent the narrator statement. I don't know.
It says, compared to other curse techniques, construction used. It said used. It says Yorozu was agitated because of that.
And then Sukuna says it there.
Okay, you did not respond to anything I said. So he's basing it off of her performance. He's saying that off of the CT that you're using, it's the case that the CE amount that is being consumed by the CT is inefficient. That's correlated to her manipulation.
I don't understand where you're getting that from when the panel just dead ass don't say that.
Because it doesn't have to say that, we can infer it. So obviously it's going to be something which is likely due to what we know about the verse. Like, for example, someone like Gojo, it's the case that his technique is very CE consumptuous, but it follows that he has techniques in which allows for that to not be the case. And that all the techniques do is allow for better manipulation. So it is going to be the CT in which consumes this large amount of CE, but we understand that that's something you can control if you have a high level amount of control or manipulation. And that translates to people like Gojo, who has very consumptuous techniques CE-wise, but he's still able to control it because of things such as six eyes, which all that does within the instance where he's controlling a CT, all that does is grant him better manipulation. So although it may be, if I were to hypothetically agree with your point, it may be the CT itself in which is consuming a lot of CE, and efficiently speaking, we understand that you're able to avoid things such as that with abilities that allows you to better manipulate your CE. Within this instance, she doesn't have six eyes, meaning that she just has the inability to manipulate her CE concisely speaking. What does that do? That means that she has a thin layer of reinforcement if it's the case that we grant that her reinforcement is connected to her manipulation, which it is.
Okay, hold on. Even if it is connected to her reinforcement, I don't understand how you get from the technique was energy inefficient, therefore her reinforcement would also be ass.
It's not just about it being as, but I literally explained it.
But energy inefficient doesn't mean terrible. It just means not as efficient as whatever the fuck else.
As the high tiers in the era. However, we understand that Kashimo is a high tier in his era, or overall. We understand he's a high tier.
In his era, speaking, what does that have to do with Yorozu's?
Because Kashimo beats everybody in her era. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, for example, Oro. Can I bro? Oh my god! Like, can I explain, bro? Like, damn. Obviously, that was hyperbolic. I don't mean literally everybody within her era. But people like, for example, Urame or Oro was in her era, and she is stronger than both of those people. And then, secondly speaking, the entire point is that on average, people cannot ignore Kashimo's trait, meaning on average, meaning on average, these beings are not something which can bypass the trait that he possesses. And then if it's on average, that means it's more likely than not, because that's what average means. It means it occurs more than not. So someone like, for example, Yorozu, there's no argument as to why she wouldn't be a part of that average. It's actually more likely that she's a part of that average. But I'm still confused.
What are you talking about? What's the argument that she's a part of the average again? I must have missed it.
Bro, it's analytical. So it's, if you say on average, that means that it happens more than not. So if it happens more than not, that means that within a scenario where the variable is undetermined, we use our priors to update and say that it's likely within the scenario. That's how we use likelihood. That's how that works.
Yeah, I don't. Why are you talking so fucking weird? Like, you can,
bro. Like,
you don't have to. You don't have to say. You don't have to say the word. I'm not insulting you. I'm just like, you talking weird. It's not like I'm not throwing it.
Okay, look, listen, bro. If we say that something happens on average, that means that it's more likely to occur than not. If it is the case that we cannot determine off of the evidence that has been presented whether or not it occurs within this scenario, we say that it's likely to occur off of the priors. Do you understand that?
I don't even think Yorozu falls in the average of her era, let alone Kashimo. So no, I don't.
It's not. Oh my god. Yeah. What's the argument as to why she doesn't fall on the average of her era, CE reinforcement or manipulation wise? Because that's the population we're trying to represent.
Well, for one, I mean, you even agree with this. She can blitz 16 finger Sukuna.
No, I don't agree with that. I believe that one, he's holding back, and then also
when we were talking about it earlier. You did it,
bro. Like, I never agree. I hope you're not talking about in this conversation, because we never mentioned her.
Not in this conversation. Not in this conversation.
Okay, I never.
But whenever we were talking earlier, nigga, hold on.
Nigga, you interrupted me to say that I agree with you when I'm saying that I didn't, my nigga. I'm trying to clarify what I agree with, because you obviously don't know what I'm talking or what you're talking about. I said she has a speed feed on Sukuna, which I agree with, but I don't believe that she blitzed Sukuna. One, because I believe he's off guarded by the technique, and then secondly speaking, I believe that he's holding back to adapt to the liquid armor in the first place, so he can bypass the domain in the future. He's testing Maharaga, so that's stupid. But what is the justification?
Wait. How is he holding back there? What does that mean?
That, bro, I literally just explained. I believe that he's.
Obviously, I'm asking for elaboration. Bro. I'm saying in the instance that you're saying,
to elaborate, and you cut me off.
Okay, well, you just said you just explained. What the fuck?
Because I did, but I'm about to elaborate. That's why I said I was going to continue. But yeah, and the entire point is, as a response to Yorozu going into this transformation, he says it's time to test Maharaga. So if we
Mm-hmm.
presuppose that he is faster than Yorozu, then it follows that it will make sense for him to hold back and allow Yorozu to attack him so he can adapt to the ability. But that's only if we presuppose that Sukuna is above her. Now, if we don't presuppose that Sukuna is above her, but rather we say it's undetermined, that wouldn't help you because you're the one saying that she blitzed him. And then if we look at the side where he is just slower, there wouldn't need to be evidence for that.
Well,
Which
I
there
only
isn't
hold
yet.
up. For one, I only say he blitzed him because that's what you said when we talked earlier.
Never
Just
said
saying
that.
that she's faster than him is perfectly fine for me. And
I
when it
didn't
comes
say that she
to
was faster than him.
yeah,
Never
you
said that. I
did
just
when we
said
were
that she has
talking
a
earlier,
speed
but it
feat.
doesn't matter. I don't have it on recording. It
Oh,
doesn't
I
matter. Like
didn't.
it's literally, I'm just explaining to you why I said what I said. That's it. Okay.
Anyways, so the entire point is that the
Well,
reason
nigga,
why
let me go.
Hikari's in the
I'm not
first.
done. I'm not done.
Okay, you stop talking, but okay.
I stopped talking because I said okay. I was trying to make sure you understood why I said what I
Uh-huh.
said earlier. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. And when it comes to Sukuna testing out Maharaga, that's perfectly fine. I don't understand why he has to hold back under that presupposition that he is above her. I don't understand why he has to hold back in order for Yorozu to hit him. He can be above her, but not so
Because
above her that is the case that he has to hold back for her to land the punches.
the entire point is if he's above her, relevantly speaking, in a sense in which allows her to avoid or allows him to avoid the techniques, then obviously he wouldn't have anything to adapt off of because he didn't get hit by the techniques. But that's under the presupposition that he's
He
relevantly
can
above her.
block.
I don't cannot finish what I was saying, bro. Like, oh my God. Like what the fuck? Anyways, so whenever you say that he can block, we understand that prior that he was attempting to avoid her independent of the thing, and then obviously he doesn't want to take damage overall. So it's the case that it makes sense that within a scenario that he's just holding back to adapt to the ability. If we even grant that he wasn't off guarded in the first place due to the level of the ability increase. But you saying that
Okay,
he can block is kind of irrelevant because we understand that he in character attempts to dodge most of the attacks that's dished at him. Like we're not talking about what we would do in this situation.
in
We're talking about what
character,
he would
when are you talking about throughout his different fights?
throughout all of his battles, he attempts to avoid the attacks more than he attempts to block the attacks.
Bro, like asking you to get the evidence for that is going to take fucking forever.
I can send the evidence. Like, bro, I know we're riding. What the fuck? But do you want me to send the evidence or?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got you.
How am I writing? Because I don't agree with that. What the fuck?
I believe you're riding because you're trying to say that he would obviously want to block in comparison to just
I'm
avoiding
saying
the attack overall.
I'm saying blocking is definitely a better defense than getting hit, especially when he's trying to avoid the punches anyway. We see him summon Divine Dog for that reason, and then she just gets surrounded.
Yeah, but the point of contention is whether or not within a scenario it's known if he was off guarded alongside him holding back. I'm not just saying that he was holding back.
I don't
So I
know.
believe that he's off guard. Can I finish, bro? I believe that he's off guarded and he's using the test subject Maharaga to adapt to the scenario. And
Why
I
do you
feel as
think
if
he's off guarded?
bro, we understand that someone like Sukuna gets off guarded by techniques that he's new to. Like he didn't know that the liquid armor could be hardened within a sense, and then the speed increase exists. And we understand consistently within JJK, which I can send evidence for that as well. Consistently within
Wait,
JJK,
hold
when their
on. Wait,
speed increases,
slow down again. Slow down again.
when their speed increases out of random, the characters that they're going against, as in the opponent, gets off guarded. Like for example, Kashimo and Sukuna, when Kashimo first entered the battle, Hikari and Kashimo, Yuta and Sukuna, Gojo and Sukuna, etc. Even happens in One Piece Zoro with Kaido. Do you want me to send the scans for that?
I don't read One Piece, but what other skins you were talking about? Or you saying in those instances someone gets faster and off guards the other person?
Yes,
Just
there's a
saying
random
one of
burst of
them.
energy because of whatever reason. I got you. Well, can I just send the statement where it says that
Yeah,
new
yeah,
CTs
yeah,
off
yeah.
guard Sukuna? Okay.
Oh, you're
So
talking
are
about
you
the
gonna?
Yuta statement? The one he makes in the
Yup.
domain? Okay,
Yup.
yeah. Yeah, that's a
Do you agree
completely
with that?
new curse technique, not a different application one. That's
Wait, I'm
two completely
wait.
different
Just to
things. But
clarify.
when it
Wait,
comes to the other
do
one,
you
I want to see
understand the
the
point?
scan
The
for it.
point, yeah, you have to listen. The point is that he
I
gets
listen.
off guarded by things. You obviously didn't. The point is
I
that he gets
did.
off guarded by. Let me finish. The point is that he gets off
You
guarded by
understand I
things that
listen?
he's. Let me finish what I was saying. The point is that he gets off guarded by
Okay.
things
I
in which he
listen.
hasn't observed before. He doesn't make any educated guess on before. So it's not just about the
No, the
CT in
point
which
is
he's getting.
no.
No, can I?
I
Yo,
disagree
yo,
with
yo,
that. I
I ain't gonna
disagree with
lie,
that. I
bro. Can
disagree
I
with that. I
finish
disagree with
speaking,
that. I
bro?
disagree with
Yo,
that. I
speak.
disagree with that. I
Okay,
disagree with
okay,
that. I
you can
disagree
say
with that. I
that.
disagree.
I'm not, bro. Okay,
Okay,
but
okay, okay,
like,
okay,
come on, bro.
okay.
Like, come on, bro. I'm not saying. Let me clarify because maybe you think I'm saying that that's Yuta's point. No, I'm saying that that's my point. And I'm using that scan as extra evidence. The point is that he gets off guarded by these new techniques in which he
Extra
hasn't seen
evidence.
before.
Wait, what's the first evidence?
Bro, oh my God, can you stop talking, bro? Like, damn, is this how you debate everybody, bro?
No, you've heard me debate before.
I've never heard you debate in my life,
Stop
other than in the
lying.
past, which I'm not sure if you debate the same. But like six and shit, or noodles and shit. But either way, the entire point is that I'm using the
You did
scan
that
to
on purpose.
did
Bringing
what
that
on
nigga
purpose.
up.
On God, I don't even know if you had beef with him. I literally, that's the only debate I've seen of you.
Nah, bro,
But
it's
anyways,
cool, bro.
so okay. So the entire point is that he gets off guarded by these new techniques. It's not just about the CT itself. It's about things that he's never seen before. He can make an educated guess about. And there's no argument as to why he can make an educated guess about the liquid armor being able to be hardened because there's a specific statement for Kashimo that he's able to control and actualize all state of affairs or phenomena relative to lightning. But I'll send the scan, like I said, and I'll send the evidence as well for him literally getting off guarded by someone's random speed increase since we're going to want to ride again. Like, yeah. Do you know when base Kashimo versus Sukune is or Megata?
237, 238.
Let's go through each point individually. Let's first talk about this because I still have the other skins going to send, but I'll just send the evidence for this. Hopefully you don't. Yeah. Yeah, P-Chat. So obviously there was a speed increase because of the activation of his technique. And then Sukuna gets hit by the punch, even though before and after he's easily dodging him. So he adapts and adjusts to the speed.
Wait,
Obviously the level of the speed increases. I sent the scan.
when does he
Obviously
dodge
the
him
level of the speed.
afterwards?
I got you, bro.
I remember he dodged the little electromagnetic wave or whatever, but
Yeah.
if I recall correctly, right after that, Kashimo punched him again. So I'd just say that the wave is slower.
Because hold on before we get to that. But the reason why he punches him again is because Sukuna's off guarded. Sukuna's not looking at him. But I'll send that as well. So whenever you say the wave is slower, there's going to be something which has no evidence because the wave is produced by the palm, and then the palm is something which is present in his face and it isn't extended the same as the punch. The punch is going to be extended completely. So it's the case that the bodily movement should be the same. And if anything, he should be able to predict that the wave is coming because it's produced by CE. And we understand that character is able to send CE. And then let me send him being all guarded by the punch directly after. You can see that he's looking away from the initial
attack. Anything.
Yes, it does, because that means that he has extra things to go off of in terms of
that would all end in it being slower.
Yeah, that's the point of contention. The point of contention is whether or not
he has extra things to go off of.
No, he has extra things to go off of in terms of his reaction speed. That doesn't mean that the performance from Kashimo is lower. That just means to say that
it doesn't have to explicitly be from Kashimo. It's just functionally it would be slower.
Yeah, we understand that that's the point of contention. You kind of just repeated yourself. Like, what's the argument?
Okay, well, you didn't understand.
Hold on, before
there was no point. There was no point. There was no point.
Okay,
responding the way you did
that. But can you look at chat before we get to that? Do you agree that he got off guarded here? Oh my bad, I didn't send a scan before that. But
he got off guarded.
Yeah, this is the punch after that you were talking about. He's looking away before he gets punched. Like, damn.
Kashimo has to change positions though. Because he hits him with a right hook on the left side of his face.
Why is that relevant?
Okay, so look here.
Oh, by the way, when you say
let me get on what I gotta say.
Hold on, before you do, when you say he changes positions, I'm not sure if I grant that.
Well, I believe he literally just goes low. I'll explain. Just
okay. But let me just clarify my belief though. I believe he gets lower on the ground. He falls down on the ground.
Okay, yeah. So even if he falls down on the ground. Whatever. The point being is his position changed.
Yeah, but he doesn't reposition himself, so it's not like his speed to reposition himself.
I don't give a fuck about that. That's not what I'm talking about. No, you're responding to something I'm not saying. Then why are you saying? What are you responding to?
Because I'm responding to the point, my nigga. Can you stop?
You're not responding to any point. I didn't make that point. You're shadow boxing arguments that don't exist.
Okay, I understand that you believe that. Stop talking, bro. Like I didn't interrupt you.
No. I'm not gonna let you talk about random points that no one made.
Okay, you believe it's random. I can just say that for any point that you make. I don't believe any point that you said responded to what I'm saying. Now let me clarify.
Okay, and I don't think any point you said responded to what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, hold up. You're responding to a point that you know I didn't make.
I don't like debating in group chats because you have weird ass niggas who don't know how to fucking take turns. Nigga, stop talking.
Nigga, you're responding to nothing.
I understand you believe that. Let me respond. You can say that after.
All right, bro. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The entire point is that he's already falling midair while Sukuna's. Yeah. Anyways, the entire point is that he's already falling midair while Sukuna is dodging. Bro, are you good, bro?
Like, I think there was some lag. No, I think there was some lag right there. You responded to some shit I said like 3 seconds later.
For sure. Anyways, so the entire point is that Kashimo in the midst of the attack is already falling down because he's in the air while Sukuna is moving to avoid the initial attack that he just dodged, okay? So whenever you say that he repositioned, bro, anyways, whenever you say that he is repositioning himself, that implies that there is some relevant speed distinction between Kashimo and then Sukuna, but I don't grant that it's what you're talking about, rather than the punch coming as he's falling down, which means that the motion is happening, consequentially speaking, it's happening constantly, it's exponential.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I wasn't implying any of that, which I said, so I don't know why you even responded to it. That was all pointless. Anyway, when I say that Kashimo was repositioned, it doesn't matter if he did it himself or if he was just simply falling out of the sky. It doesn't matter. Point being, he changed positions because of where the punch comes from. He cannot throw a
wait. What's the argument for that?
I'm not done.
That's why I responded to that. And you just said I wasn't responding. The entire point is that I don't see why the punch. I did. I don't see why the punch isn't just from the. I don't see why the punch isn't just coming from him being within a motion of falling and then extending his arm to jab Sukuna, because it's not like the punch.
It's not a jab. It's a right hook.
It doesn't matter what it is. That's just
yes,
an example
it does.
Of a punch. It can be a right hook. It can be a right hook. That's fine. He punches him twice. Or my bad. It can be a right hook.
He punches him once.
That's what I just said. Never mind.
You said,
but
okay.
Anyway, he punches him. I don't see why the punch isn't something which is happening during the movement of Sukuna attempting to dodge the first attack.
Even okay, hold on. Even then, at best, you would say it's ambiguous. So your counter argument wouldn't work in the first place.
No, the reason why it wouldn't work for you is because you're the one saying that I'm pretty sure he punched him directly after, as a response to what I'm saying. So I'm saying that he got. Don't interrupt me because you already see me. Anyways, I'm saying that it's the case that he got off guarded by the newly awakened speed, and after that, he's able to dodge once he adjusts to the speed. As a response, you're saying I'm pretty sure he reacted. I'm pretty sure he got punched by Kashimo and it landed directly after. I'm saying I don't grant that because of X, Y, and Z. So that would just mean to say that the situation at hand where he gets punched is ambiguous, which wouldn't be something which is inconclusive for my determination. That would be inconclusive for your determination. Because
so there's a tracking error here. There were two responses to the argument that you initially gave. If you remember correctly, I said that I think that the electromagnetic waves are not done, nigga. Okay. No. You still didn't respond to it because
you disagree. Let's move on then.
Nigga, I'm not done. No, we're not moving on. I'm not done. We can move on when I say I'm done, okay? That's how it works. You don't get done, then we move on. We both get done, then we move on.
You literally just said I didn't track it. I repeated the point that I didn't quote unquote track.
No, you didn't track what the counter. You didn't track what the counter was addressing. Because the whole argument is not done anyway.
I can explain what it's addressing.
Infinity, so the whole argument isn't done anyway.
If I explain what it's addressing, do you agree to move on? If I explain what it's addressing, do you agree to move on?
No.
Exactly, because you know that I know. Like, you can't.
Okay, explain it.
Okay, sure. Even though you're probably going to write and say it's not addressing that, but I got you. So the entire point is that.
Okay, hold on, wait. If you think I'm gonna lie, in response, then there's no.
I'm just gonna hope that you're not gonna lie. I'm gonna hope that you're not gonna lie. But what I said is that there are constant situations where characters, even for example, Sukuna, get off guarded by speed increases from the opponent that they're going against. Mm-hmm. Now, I used, for example, him turning into the mythical Amber Beast and then quote unquote, off guarding and blitzing Sukuna. And then directly after, Sukuna adjusts to the speed and dodges the attack. As a response, you said, oh, the attack could just be slower because it's not the same type of attack. One is a punch, and then this one is just coming from the palm of it's coming from his palm. It's a different type of attack. It's a sound wave. It could just be slower. That's the response, and that's what you were responding to.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so let's move on.
Okay, and you think you responded to that?
Nope, I did respond. Let's move on.
Okay. Well, quickly clarify.
Now,
what was the response?
No, 6. No. Don't say I didn't respond and didn't say I didn't track. I explained your shitty point perfectly, and now you want to hear the response because you realize you didn't contend what I said. Let's move on to the second.
No, that was more charity for you. You didn't respond still. Yeah.
No. Okay, I didn't respond.
Okay, so I didn't. Hold on. So real quickly, let's just address this.
For the recording, you see what he's doing because he knows he didn't respond. Can we move on to the next point, please? Like we already agreed. Like, don't be weird, bro. We already agreed to move on. If I can explain the point.
No,
like,
I didn't explain it. I said no, God. And then I said, okay, explain it then.
I literally only said I was going to explain it in condition that you moved on. If it was the case,
but then I said no, and then I told you to explain it. You did it.
You said okay, then explain it. But I'll give the response again. Actually, no, I'm not. But we can move on to the next point. I responded like 3 times. I repeated the response 3 times. You believe that you responded. It was the performance thing. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Yes. You already attempted to respond to it. It was the performance thing. Okay. Now, can we move on to the next thing?
Wait, what performance thing?
Yo. Can we move on to the next point, bro?
No. What are you talking about? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Can we move on to the next thing?
Dude, what performance thing are you talking about?
I believe that I believe if anything, his performance against the technique would be better because he has more things to go off of. That's what I said. Okay? Can we move on?
Okay, so if he has more things to go off of, how do you then say that he adapted to Kashimo's speed?
Let's move on. I already responded to that. I already explained how he adapted to Kashimo's
speed. You actually did. Let's go. Let's move on. You're right.
You understand that the point is that he has more things to go off.
Why are you trying to...
Because I'm repeating it so you can understand. Because you wanted me to be so charitable, so you can track.
Nigga, I said let's move on.
Because of performance. The entire point is that under your hypothesis, is expected that because there are more things to go off of, is the case that okay, sure, you don't want to continue, sure, okay. Now for the second point, we understand that the reason why Hikari's output is so high is because of the infinite CE in which is flowing through his body, which separates him from the average. Yorozu doesn't have that, and they specifically highlight
more
that
CE means more output.
I believe that it means higher application of output, but the way that his CE flows, 100%, yeah, because the output that it's talking about within the scenario, there's 2 types of outputs within the verse.
There's 4.
It's talking about, huh?
There's 4.
No, there's 2. There's 2 general categories of output. I'll explain them. Maybe you don't understand what I mean. So you have one output, which is talking about the external release or production of CE, where it's no longer interacting with your body physically speaking or directly speaking, and you have output in terms of the production of CE. What is the third category?
The production of CE? Like making it?
Yes, so that would include reinforcement, for example. The first one doesn't include reinforcement because it's the external release of CE. Like, for example, reuse beam. That's not the same type of output as refinement. Does the third category fit under those 2 categories, or do you believe there exists a third category and a fourth category?
Yeah, well, I go with there's RCT output, domain expansion, your curse technique.
What the fuck? Oh my God. Okay, a domain expansion fits under the first one. RCT fits under the first one. And then you said, what else? Your CT?
Yep.
For your CT, it depends on what it is. Like, for example, Hikari CT fits under both. No, my bad. Hikari CT fits under the second one. Ryu CT fits under the first one. So I'm not sure why you put up those categories. But either way, the entire point is that he's outside of the average. I'm saying... Bro, I'm thinking
the question. Just asked me. You know that, right?
Yes, I asked you if you believe it doesn't fit under the first 2, what are the next categories? So I'm not sure why you brought them up because they do fit under the first 2. That's why you have to track, okay, 6? Now, the reason why someone like Hikari fits outside the average is because of this unique ability that he has that allows him to flow CE infinitely throughout his body, okay? So he has this high output, specifically in reference to the second type of output that I'm talking about. Okay, do you agree? Yorozu doesn't have that, meaning that there's no reasonable basis to say.
I want the how are you coming to the conclusion of the 2 different types of output?
Because because every single thing within a verse when it comes to CE can be empirically reduced down to those 2 categories. And then secondly speaking, the way that Gojo describes the CE output or anybody else in the verse describes the CE output fits under one of those 2 categories. Like literally every single ability that you name fits under one of the 2 categories.
Yeah,
but we understand that it can be. We understand that the second category exists because of the way that works.
One second. I understand that they can fit into those 2 categories. The second one, I want you to re-describe to me here in a second.
The second one is just talking about the production of CE.
Yeah, and when you say that, elaborate one more time on what it is.
Yeah, so it can be external or internal. So that can include reinforcement. We understand that it's talking about The second thing within this scan, because Akari doesn't have any relevant output attacks for the first thing, because he doesn't have anything in which externally releases. I apologize. He doesn't have anything in which externally releases from his body to where it no longer interacts with his body other than his domain expansion, but it's talking about his CE reinforcement and which ignores the trait. So it pairs up reinforcement with output. So it's obviously talking about his reinforcement, which is not compatible with the first category, but only compatible with the second thing. And evidence as to why the first category exists is because they refer to Ryu having the highest output, and that's referring to his beams. And then evidence for the second category existing is because of 215, where Megan is fighting Maki. It's the case that his output in reference to his CT is something which is nerfed, but his reinforcement is not nerfed.
Okay. So what I would say then is those categories. Yep. While I agree that the two categories you said is perfectly fine, even within those categories there are subcategories, right?
Okay, that's irrelevant. The entire point is that
I'm not done.
I'll explain why. Oh god.
Yeah, I said okay. But I'm saying even within those categories there are subcategories, right? So do you think?
I'm not sure if I agree with that, but
that's what I'm gonna ask. I'm asking clarifying questions. Okay. Okay. So do you think, for example, that someone's curse technique has the same level of output as a domain expansion?
It depends on what the CT is.
Okay. Let's make it even more simple.
Let me clarify, because I don't want to. Yeah, the reason why I believe it depends on what the CT is because I believe that the reason why a domain expansion requires so much CE, typically speaking, is because the size of the barrier. That's for one. You literally go ahead. That's one of the reasons for that.
Okay, so just make it more simple then. Simple domain versus a normal domain. Both of those would fit into that second category you were talking about, right? Where CE external to the body.
Nope, that's the first category. The entire point is that
one of the categories. It fits into one of the categories.
Wait, just to clarify, the things that you're listing as subcategories are just particulars within a universal category. They're not called subcategories. They're called particulars that are a part of the set. Yes, abilities fit under the category. Hold on. Abilities fit under the category, but that has nothing to do with them being a subcategory. They're just described under the category. And then secondly speaking, you're describing abilities in which fit under the first category. The entire point is that this is the second category. And then thirdly speaking,
it doesn't really matter which.
No, hold on. And then thirdly speaking, let me give an example real quick. So Curse Spears, for example, I believe requires more seed than, like, for example, Yuta's domain or someone's domain. Yeah, like if he released all of his Curse Spears, which is his CT, I believe that would require much more CE than someone like Daigon's domain. It can be Geto or Kenjaku, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyway, what I was
Do you understand what we're talking about, bro?
I understand you, but I'm asking clarifying questions here.
Explain how we got to this point, just so I can make sure you're tracking. Because I don't want to talk about this.
Just let me. Can I ask my clarifying question so we can move on?
Yes, you can, but you can ask my question after because I'm answering your questions.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. But like you in the middle of me asking my question, you interrupt me with an explanation of something I didn't ask.
I was giving an answer to your question.
No, I didn't finish my question.
I was talking about the initial question. You asked me if I believe that a CT requires more, in some instances, requires more CE.
You already answered that. I was about to ask something else.
I was giving elaboration.
I didn't need it.
You don't need it. I need it. I want to clarify my point.
Okay. Simple domain and normal domain, right? Obviously, those two things don't have the same output.
Yep.
Okay. So you still would fit them both under the first, second category, doesn't matter. The category where
because the
CE is external to the body, right?
To where it's no longer touching the body, yeah. The CE level is irrelevant, yeah.
The CE level is irrelevant?
Yes, because the categories are not talking about the CE level. That has nothing to do with the definition of output.
Then what the
That's how much output is. We're not talking about the quantity of output. We're talking about what qualifies as output. But can I ask my question now that I've answered all your questions?
Wait, hold on. With your elaboration, I'm obviously going to have more questions. Okay, so okay, so when you're talking about the level of CE doesn't matter there because we're talking about another aspect of output.
Nope, I'm talking about it.
Huh?
I'm talking about the definition of output. Yep.
Yeah, we both know what output is. You just decided to
obviously you didn't
because
you thought that And you thought there were 4 categories, and you believe that there exists, even after I gave my clarification, you thought there exist subcategories, and then you named abilities and which are particulars under the main category. No, those aren't subcategories. Those are just called particulars, which are described by the main category.
It
Subcategories are.
doesn't really matter the word I use to
It does. I
describe it.
just want to clarify. But yeah, can I ask my question though? Like, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, so how do we get to this point? Why are we talking about the definition of output 6? Can you explain? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay, so so how we got to this point is because I'm saying that the reason why he's able to ignore someone like Kashimo's trait is because he's outside the average. But why is he outside the average 6? It's because of his high level of output, reinforcement wise. It's talking about the second category. It's because he has infinite CE flowing through his body. So I don't grant that someone without this unique trait, which is infinite CE flowing through the body, is going to have any relevant reinforcement which allows them to bypass the lightning state of affairs. And then additionally speaking, we understand they could just anyways, he can rise the heat of the lightning to negate any CE reinforcement if I even were to grant that she applies CE reinforcement to her body independent of the liquid metal. Like, just to clarify, and so, like, I'm not writing at all. Just to clarify.
Wait, hold on. Because most of that is not relevant. But
it definitely is.
When it comes to Akari's output negating Kashimo's curse technique, for one,
it's not a CT.
We understand, huh?
It's not a CT. I'm not talking about a CT. I'm talking about his trait. And then his trait is weaker than the CT.
Yeah, why are you clarifying that?
Because you're trying to make it seem like I'm talking about a CT, which will obviously be an anti-feat for Kashimo because Hakari is able to bypass the CT. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he bypasses his trait because of this unique feature in which is not true of any other scenario that we've seen. So I don't grant that Yorozu has this unique feature in which would allow her, typically speaking, to negate his, for example, traits in which is way, way, way weaker than the CT. So even if she were able to negate the trait, that has nothing to do with the CT, especially since he can increase the heat. And obviously, like I said, liquid metal has a low...
How long would it take for that to happen?
For him to melt the Yorozu ship?
Yeah, how long would it take for him to increase the heat, for example?
Well, the entire point is I don't even grant that at its base heat, she would be able to negate it. But if to answer your question real quick, to increase the heat, he should be able to do it pretty quickly, man. Because we understand how quickly he's able to heal. Huh?
Wait, what do you mean how quickly he's able to heal?
Yeah, so we see how quickly he's able to actualize these states of affairs relative to the lightning phenomena or electric phenomena. So it should be along the lines of a quick situation to increase the heat if all he's doing is taking the electricity and amping it up or amplifying it in comparison like creating waves of sound or restoring his arm.
Wouldn't that be relative to his output? Because the electricity is just his cursed energy?
Yeah.
Okay, so if
that's my point. I'm saying that since it's relative to his output, and we understand that he's able to do these other things, such as healing his entire arm quickly, for example.
Then when did he heal his whole arm?
Oh my God, bro! I got you, bro.
That does not happen.
It does. Even if we say it's his hand, I don't care what he's healing. We just know that he healed his hand or his arm. It doesn't matter either way. But I got you. What, do you disagree with him healing his hand? If I were to bring it down to that.
I think I remember that. Yeah, you talking about when he made the two fingers? He made like a thumb and a pointer finger, right?
No, bro. He healed his entire arm, but I'm fine with saying it's his hand because it's irrelevant whether or not it's his arm or his hand.
Bro, I want to see that. I want to see it.
I got you, bro. Since apparently nothing happened, I guess. Yo, bro. I don't know if you're riding, like, bro. Oh my God, I don't.
Bro, I've never heard anyone say Kashimo healed his whole arm.
Wait, do you disagree with him being able to heal overall or no?
I think what he can do is functionally similar to it anyway, so it wouldn't really matter.
I got you, bro. Like,
oh yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, he doesn't heal his whole arm.
I got you, bro. It's not about his own whole arm, but I got you though.
Yeah, I understand that in the end you're just saying, okay, even if he does just do the fingers, whatever. But I'm just saying.
Well, no. Wait, hold on, my bad. It's not. No, it's definitely not just the fingers. Just to clarify, but even if it were the fingers, that's all I did as well. But
okay, well, I sent the panel. He doesn't even lose his whole arm.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, we cannot tell whether or not it's his whole arm. But I'm gonna send the panel.
You can see the other fingers right there.
Where?
In the page, you can see them.
Zoom in. What are you talking about?
I got you.
Are you talking about? Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm gonna get the scan real quick.
Yeah, look. Gigi's art is pretty fucking ass, but you can literally see the fingers curling around it.
What, bro? Like where? I agree that his hand got
I'll draw
off.
it. I'll draw it.
But please, bro, please. Like, are you talking about the last two? Like, I agree that there are fingers on the arm, if that's what you're saying. Yeah, I agree, because his arm got cut off. That's my point. But like that much blood would not be leaking from two fingers getting cut off.
That much blood?
Yes, you don't see the blood on Kashimo?
Wait, hold on. So you think
I got you, bro? His entire left arm is bloody, bro. That wouldn't be the case from two fingers leaking. Look, what the fuck? That's all blood. But like I said, as long as he's able to use these abilities and it is relying on his output, that's all I need. If it's relying on his output, he's able to do these other techniques pretty quickly. Like, for example, produce sound waves, heal his fingers. If I were to just grant us talking about his fingers, which I don't, that's all I need. He can be able to amplify the heat, even though I don't believe that the base heat is something which isn't sufficient.
Check chat real quick. So those two fingers that are just mysteriously black, you think that what of those?
I think that's the shading. Are you talking about?
You think that's shading?
Hold on.
On that part of Kashimo's body.
Hold on. Are you talking about? Hold on. Are you talking about in the middle where he's about to use the ball beam?
No, at the top.
That's obviously shading. That happens multiple times, even with the arm in which is not healed.
Are you serious?
Then we can see. Do you not agree that that's him healing his fingers? What are you talking about?
I think those are the two healed fingers. Yeah, because I think he only lost two fingers.
And I disagree.
I understand you disagree, but I'm saying,
and I understand you disagree. What's the argument?
Anyway, I'm saying if it is the case that he lost his whole arm, why is it that those two fingers only are mysteriously black? They don't match with the rest of his body at all. You think the shading is just inconsistent on those two fingers on both panels? Because
I believe that he's healing his arm as it goes. What are you talking about? We literally see that it's not black in the second panel.
Okay, what about here?
Let's see.
Same thing? Shading?
No, I literally didn't say what. We can literally see that it's shading because it's the same thing with Sukuna. Like when he's moving his arm, it's motion movements. It's shading motion movements.
On those two fingers specifically, just consistently, just shading.
Yes, because I believe that's the main part.
And then here too.
I already answered the question. I believe that's the main thing he's healing. Yeah.
Okay.
You can literally. It's the same color on his leg. You can see the shadow in the shading.
But either way, on his leg and what panel?
Oh my god, bro! Look at the panel.
Why you say, "Oh my god"? Every time I ask you a question,
it's the exact same because the questions are obviously right. It's the same shading.
Nigga, I sent I sent 4 pages.
Bro, I zoomed in. You can only see his leg.
But you just sent it now. You just sent it now.
I've been sent it. Bro, it's irrelevant.
Infinity, come on now.
If you agree, bro, I don't know what you just said. But the entire point is that if you agree that it's relying on output and it follows that he's able to output these other techniques relatively fast, it should be the case that he's able to increase the heat or intensity of the heat relatively fast. But like I said, I don't even grant that the base heat is not something which is sufficient, especially since something like liquid metal has a low melting point. I apologize.
Yeah.
High melting point.
Yeah. So the point in me bringing up his output is, say for example, if Kashimo is not able to melt the liquid metal, he can't just raise it to an infinite degree because obviously he doesn't have infinite output to just then at some point hit and destroy.
No, he's able to raise it to how high electricity is able to go to because he's able to actualize any state of affairs correlated to electricity. That's the point. That's what it says. So if it's the case that there is a heat point in which is able to be actualized by electricity itself, that he's able to do that because of the statement. It's literally stated. But secondly speaking, the entire point is whether or not CE reinforcement is going to be relevant in the way that you're talking about, since I believe that what she is doing is she's imbuing CE into her body and then creating liquid armor, liquid metal, and which translates to liquid armor. You have to justify that when it says CE is applied to her body, is not talking about her imbuing CE in to create the construction armor.
It says continue to feed CE.
You said what?
It says she continues to feed it CE. Does it not?
If it's true that my interpretation follows, then that statement would still make sense to what I'm saying. It's the case that she is feeding it CE because the armor itself is consuming the CE and making the liquid armor. I apologize. It's consuming the CE and making it hardened liquid armor. That's the point. So it is true that she's feeding it CE, and I agree. She's
No,
maintaining the form through liquid armor because the form is made out of liquid armor, and she's feeding more liquid armor through the CE. Yes, that's true.
but it says once she constructed it.
Because she's maintaining the form. She has to maintain the form. It's manipulation. She has to keep the form hardened.
I don't think that's how construction works.
It literally says she's losing control of the liquid manipulation, meaning that she has to maintain control. And if you believe, what you did, by the way, you believe that in both state of affairs or in both situations, it's identical in terms of the usage. I apologize. It's identical in terms of the properties. Then it'll have to be the case that she's maintaining the armor itself.
Well, no,
as well. But
the
even
first,
then, hold on. But even then, it could just be her strengthening the armor as well.
It could be her what?
Strengthening the armor as well.
I'm so fine with it being her strengthening the armor.
Bro, like, okay, you want to move on from this point?
Hold on, are we cool with that? Like, she's using cursed energy to strengthen the armor?
No, I'm saying either or as an interpretation towards the statement.
Yeah, I know you're saying either or, but I'm saying I'm willing to agree with that one.
But I'm saying that I believe in the first one. But if the first one is false, which I don't believe it is false, then I'm fine with saying the second thing, which defeats the original point. But I'm not going to say the second thing because I truly believe in the first thing, and I'm not a rat. But can we move on to the next point?
Hold on. Please stop asking me to move on.
Bro, I'm not trying to have a 3-hour debate like you did with Gizbob, bro. Like,
no, it's not. We'll be done. We'll be done shortly, I think.
I'm not sure if that's true.
I think so. Then we'll be done shortly. Hold on, I want to look at TCB real quick. Give me a second.
Bro.
Where's the explanation for this shit at? Okay.
Bro, I'll just give the evidence real quick, bro. The entire point is that it is metal, meaning it has the properties of metal, and we understand that it has the properties of metal due to what's stated, and then also what action she's able to perform. If it's the case that it has the properties of metal, that means that the electrons are moving freely, and then for the electrons to move freely, that means that there's constant motion, and what she's doing is increasing the level of that constant motion to maintain the constant motion. That's how it works. It's the case that it has to be a stable set, or else the armor would fall. And then it's also stated directly after that the liquid manipulation, I apologize, the liquid metal is something which she has to maintain with the, for example, deer shit.
What was that for?
Bro. Like, why? Look, it's stated, bro. Like, why are we riding? She could manage mid-range combat.
Nigga, calm,
no.
Listen.
Listen.
Hold on. You're getting mad.
No.
Hold on. I don't think. I was asking you why you just told me that. You're explaining something.
I was about to explain. I was telling you that as a priori justification as to why it would have to be the case that she's maintaining it, or justification as to why the second thing is true. It's either or for the interpretation. Now, I'm about to explain extra evidence for the first interpretation because it's stated empirically speaking. So there's a priori evidence and there's a posteriori evidence. It says she can manage mid-range combat as long as she continues to feed it cursed energy to control the liquid metal. She's controlling the liquid metal. That's why she has to continue feeding it, because it's easier to control with more CE imbued, typically speaking, or at least in her perspective. Look at the last part of the statement.
Yeah.
Left.
And just ask again. Please don't start yelling at me. Why the fuck are you telling me that?
The first interpretation that I gave is regarding her feeding the armor to maintain its control. What it says within the scan is that she could manage mid-range combat as long as she continued to feed it cursed energy to control the metal. So it's saying that the reason why she's feeding the metal cursed energy, or she's feeding this ability cursed energy, is to maintain the control of the liquid metal, because the liquid metal is hardened within this instance. Now, the reason why I told you the first
thing is to show you that. I think that's talking about
of course,
the other liquid metal, like the liquid metal.
Okay, why is it talking about that?
Because
the reason why it's not talking about that, hold on. The reason why it's not talking about that is because this box is supposed to be Yes, you can answer the question after. I ask questions and I give arguments. I'm not just a skeptic. Fuck. Anyways, the
Yeah, I
reason why
was
it's
in the
most likely
middle
not
of.
talking about is because let me finish what I was saying. The reason
Uh,
I was in the middle of me finishing my sentence, but the
well, I
reason why
was
it's
in the
most
middle of
likely not.
talking. You cut
The
me
reason why it's
off.
most that's not true. You interrupted me when I was finishing
No,
my
no, I
sentence because you
didn't.
thought it
No,
was
I
just an
didn't.
actual question. Let me finish what I was saying. The reason why it's most likely not talking about that because the box is a continuation. This entire passage is supposed to be describing her armor. So it says once she constructed it, she can manage mid-range combat. Once she constructed it, the armor, stop writing. She can manage mid-range combat, comma. As long as she continued to feed the curse energy, control the liquid metal. Period. That's talking about the fucking armor. Like you believe I was writing with the fucking finger point. I think you're writing with this point. Like it's obviously talking about the liquid armor, not the other liquid metal that she has.
Okay. So how the fuck is she exactly supposed to do mid-range combat with a close quarters mech armor?
Are you dead ass, bro?
Yes. Like it seems far more likely that it's talking about. It seems far more likely that it's talking about the other liquid metal because we actually
Because of
see
its
her
agility,
do
bro.
mid-range
It's
combat with
agility.
it.
She does long range combat and mid range combat with all of her liquid metals. The entire point is that the diction one supports my side, the context supports my side, and thirdly speaking, the reason why it would be mid range combat is because of the agility of the armor which she uses against Sukuna. She
That
literally
would be
flies
that would
around.
be
Can I finish what I'm saying? Can
that
I
would be
finish what I'm saying?
used to
Stop.
get in
Stop.
close though.
The entire no mid range combat is talking about the vicinity overall. So it's talking about the distance
How do
between
you
two
know
fighters.
that?
Bro, like
You
stop
just made
talking.
that up.
It's because you're saying that I'm making it up. It's obviously off of that. Anyways, it's obviously off of the context that we're using. It's addiction. But alongside that, I'm not even sure if the armor is not able to produce mid-range attacks.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, regardless of that skeptic bullshit, I'm saying that we see her on
You're not going
panel
to
in
dismiss
the
the
bug
skeptic shit.
armor. Okay, cool. We see
We
her
can look at
on.
the other translation. Hold on.
Yeah, I got the other translation right here.
Just send it.
Yeah. But we see her on panel while in the bug armor use the other liquid metal for mid-range combat.
Wait, hold on. I'm not disagreeing that she's able to use her liquid metal in a versatile way. The entire point is that by mid-range, it may be talking about the vicinity overall, which allows her to control these spaces. So, for example, long range, she's not able to use her agility to cover the long range and make up for the disadvantages that she has because of the limitations to her ability. But when it comes to a mid-range, as in,
That
it's
would
talking about
depend
the
on her
distance.
opponent.
Let me finish what I was saying, bro. Like, chill, bro. You can say that after. I'm dismissing that for now. But when it comes to a mid-range distance, if it's talking about distance, like I don't grant that it's talking about combat itself, as in I punch mid-range. No, but if it's talking about distance, then it's the case that she can make up for the disadvantage she has distance-wise by using the agility that's granted by the armor. But extra evidence is that it literally says that within your own translation, as long as curse energy flowed through it, the liquid metal she freely controlled could cover her in mid-range combat. My bad. As long as curse energy flowed through it, look at the first part. That insect armor was the pinnacle of construction technique. This entire passage is referential to the liquid armor. And if every single box is talking about the liquid armor, the liquid armor other than the specific box at the left, that would obviously be less likely. That's what your interpretation would have to say, which is less
No,
likely because that
I
means to
think
say
it's perfectly fine considering it says in the middle once it is constructed, and then it goes on to say how she can dominate the mid range as well. Because
yeah,
obviously it's a
how does that? Hold
fucking
on, wait.
mech
How does that
suit.
support your interpretation? What the fuck? Once it is, yes, it's construction, as in the form is made, but it doesn't mean that she doesn't have to maintain the form. That's retarded. Like for example, we can say that God sustains our existence even though He already
Okay,
created us.
so hold on. You think her maintaining the form allows her to control mid range combat?
But you did not listen. The entire point
Oh
is you saying
fuck!
once it's constructed, that specific sentence is not evidence as to why the other passages or the other passage is not talking about the armor itself. Like it literally, what for your point to be true, it
I
has to be the
think
case that all these boxes, hold on, all these boxes are talking about the armor within this panel, except for that last box that we're talking about. But that obviously is less likely. So
because
my
it's
point is
going
more
to
theoretical
flow.
virtue.
It's going to flow into the next box, which is going to start talking about her combat style and what she used it for. So we get
Yes,
we get
the
hold on,
armor justified that that's not
bro.
talking about the armor.
Infinity. Please, God, let me finish talking this time.
Now it's me. Now
Yes,
it's me.
yes. I care
Okay,
way more
explain
about
why the
me than
last
you.
box isn't talking about the armor.
Okay. Anyway, so the
Wait,
chapter
my bad. Where's it
starts.
say the mid range shit at in this panel? Never mind, I see it.
Yeah, okay. So the chapter starts. We start learning about how Yorozu was distressed. Her curse technique is fucking ass at utilizing cursed energy. She had good output, good cursed energy capacity, but the rate of consumption was ass, right? So she looked at all these different bugs. She like, well, damn, these bugs, These bugs are goated. They can do crazy ass shit, even though they're small as fucking ass. So she was convinced that insect armor was going to be the pinnacle of,
because it's able to make up for mid-range distances, even though that's the point of contention, whether or not it's talking about the mid-range combat rather than the cover.
Can I get done?
But okay, it says cover though. It literally says.
Wait, can I get done? Yeah. Can I get done?
Oh my god, bro.
Okay, so she was convinced that the insect armor was the pinnacle of the construction technique, right? Then it says, moreover, once it was constructed, as long as she continued.
What is that talking about? What is that talking about?
Let me get done. You can ask these questions afterwards. What is that talking about? No, you can ask these questions afterwards. You can literally ask afterwards.
Now I can't interrupt to ask questions even though you were doing that.
No, I'm me. You're you. I care way more about me finishing my sentence than you finishing yours.
That's fine. Now I'm going to finish what I was saying if I have something important to say. So why is it not talking about the ability from agility?
Moreover, once
why is it not talking about the ability that is granted from the agility?
As long as cursed energy flowed through it, the liquid metal she freely controlled could cover for her in mid-range combat. Earlier in the first chapter of this fight, we get an explanation as to what she's doing with that liquid metal. Liquid metal that maintains its physical properties while freely able to change shape and volume through semi-autonomous cursed energy control. And an armor of flesh inspired by a variety of borrowings from multiple strands of evolution.
The end doesn't do anything for you, by the way. I'm not.
Are you fucking like? Are you retarded?
What does the end do for you? And what part is the end?
Okay, so it's saying she has the liquid metal and the armor.
Okay, where does it say that?
Read. I just sent both the pages. The first. So look at the first one I sent.
Okay, now I want you to explain how this defeats the point, because the armor is a hardened version of the liquid metal. That's what creates the armor.
And even regardless of it being,
that's just an inclusive or.
No, it isn't. What?
You just said and is an inclusive or. Are you stupid?
The and there, no, it's not.
Why is it not an inclusive or? Justified.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. Even later on, hold on, but I'm not gonna entertain that.
Okay, so you don't know.
Just gonna move on.
Saying shit out of your ass. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
There's no point in entertaining it.
Explain why by mid-range combat is not talking about the agility that's granted by the ability that allows her to cover mid-range vicinity.
I'm saying that in literally every time the bug armor or the liquid metal is brought up, those two things are brought up as distinct.
Hold up. Are you dumb? Oh my god, you're stupid. The entire point is that the armor is a.
Hold on, wait.
Bro,
what says?
The armor is a specific type of liquid metal.
What says that the armor is liquid metal?
Are you dead ass?
Yeah, it doesn't say that.
I got you, bro.
It actually doesn't say that.
I got you, bro. Calm down. Like, what the fuck?
No, I'm actually being so genuine here. It doesn't say that.
I got you, bro. Apparently it's not liquid metal. I got you.
Okay. How was your day?
Like, why are we fucking ratting? Like I don't know if you're like retarded or you're fucking ratting, but it says it in the own chapter that you're fucking using, you fucking rat. And then after this, we can go into a different point because I'm going to talk about you ratting. Yeah, I'm about to explain it because obviously you can't fucking read it, or if you're not choosing to read it.
Wait, I'm not reading. This is a different translation. Wait, hold on. Wait, stop. This is a different translation.
I'll look at the other translation after. Hold on before we get to that, because we can have Oshi translate it if our translations are combating. Let me read it for the recording so they can know that you're ratting. It says,
I'm not ratting by having a different translation. What are you talking about?
Okay.
No. Stop saying I'm ratting. No, you're not going to say I'm ratting because you pulled up a different skin. Okay, go ahead.
Yorozu developed, I brought this before, by the way, but Yorozu developed liquid metal with changeable volume yet stable physical properties. This form is supposed to be the stable physical property. It says she uses that for flesh armor, specialized in appropriating numerous biofunctions. Okay,
Okay,
and let's look at your scan. Hold on, chill. Let's look at your scan, and then after we're gonna have Oshi translate it for us. Okay, a liquid metal that maintains its physical properties while freely able to change shape and volume through blah blah blah, and then reducing the last panel, an armor of flesh. It says a liquid metal that contains blah 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 and an armor. So it's saying from this category, do not interrupt me, please don't interrupt me. From this category, it allows her to do X, Y, and Z and B. So both the translations helps what I'm saying. On a truth table, for a conjunction to be truth, both conjuncts or
holy
both sides of the
shit.
conjunct has to be true. Like it's basic fucking logic. Stop bragging, bro. Just admit you lost.
Okay, now Infinity, I want you to explain really quickly how the fuck
Yo,
it is I'm ratting based
okay,
on
I'll
the
explain.
scan that I did. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go
Okay, I
ahead.
got you. I got you. Like that.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the reason why I truly believe in
Oshi, I'm
logic,
sending
bro,
the
bro.
boss.
No, he doesn't have to translate it because no, I can explain why it fits under or whatever he can if he wants to. But
Yeah,
anyways,
send
it
some.
says yeah. It says a liquid metal that maintains its physical properties while freely able to change shape and volume through semi-autonomous curse energy control and an armor of flesh. So it's
It's
saying,
the
yeah, bro,
bottom left. Oshi, that's the
yo,
question. It's the bottom left over here, and then the on the second page is that square bubble over Yorozu's bug armor. All right, repeat that.
let's just wait for him to send it, bro.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't want to.
God didn't find it necessary, but you already told him to do it, so just wait.
How was your day?
Good, man. How about yours?
Good, good, good.
That's what's up, man.
Productive.
Just good.
You know, there's actually, I'm gonna check something else too.
Let me ask ChatGPT.
And this translation does the same thing. I hate this. I really do. Oh,
We needed to
we're specifically,
we need to flow into each other.
yeah. Let me show you this too, Infinity. This is just another translation team as well.
Literally says the same thing. Let's see. Yeah, I believe that entails the same thing. There's no ocean to make it flow into each other.
All right, I think we can just start talking about it now. Go ahead.
No. Let me look at. Is that lightning? Who would you say?
This is G Show. They're the people who used to
What
translate.
translator did you say?
You're talking to me, right, or Oshi?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me? I think my internet went out. fuck? Hello?
Yeah.
I'm on my phone now. Oh, back? All right, I'm back.
5,000 milliseconds. Jesus Lord, like, bruh.
Where did Infinity go?
I'm sending the other translation right now. Did he send the other one?
No, you asked me a question while I was lagging out. I was answering you, but you couldn't hear me.
I'm not sure what the question was.
I think you just asked me what translation team did the one I sent. But
yeah,
I was gonna say it's they're called G-Show. They're the people who did TCB back when TCB was good.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's true, but
I could send whatever evidence you need if
no,
you need me to do that.
I'm saying whether or not TCB was good, because TCB has multiple issues, and I don't know if they're from back then or not. But
yeah. Am I? Oh, my shit dropped again. Are we good to continue?
no, because I'm sending another translation that agrees with me.
Got it.
You chat. Yeah. So with all the scans in combination, I believe that what she likely does is she uses, especially for the first.
What is this? Mm-hmm. What is this a translation of?
This is a translation of the first, like the last boxes. Well, I sent the entire two scans. So it's supposed to be the first box describing her armor, and then it's supposed to be like everything for the Yorozu before she goes into the armor ship. But in all of these things, for all of these things in combination, I believe what she does is she uses the liquid armor and then she models it off of these insects.
Real
when
quick,
she fires them.
Real quick, yep. Because I don't want to cut you off when you get to your explaining. Can you send your Chat GPT chat?
I got you.
Like the link to it. Yeah. Once you send it, you can go ahead with your explanation.
I don't know what you mean by the link, but
if you go to I'll just send a screenshot of how to get it.
Does it have to still be up, or can I go to my past thing? Because I already exited out of the tab as soon as I got the shit.
Yeah, just go to the chat and then hit this button up here in the top.
I don't think you listened to what I just said, bro.
I thought you just said you closed the tab.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm saying get back on the website. Oh, you don't have an account?
No. Not on my PC.
Okay. Well then, yeah, sure.
But yeah, so to give my explanation real quick for all these scans of collaboration, I believe that she uses her priors to recognize what would be best suited for a situation, and then this armor is best suited for most situations, and then her main CT is based upon like the construction ability she usually uses in combination with the liquid armor shit. So I believe that it's saying that because, especially with the way that they describe the liquid armor, it says a liquid metal that could change its form while maintaining its physical properties to semiotic, blah, blah, blah. I believe what it does is it changes its form and turns it into armor. And then that's collaborated with by my scans. And then I think that's more likely because typically speaking, the abilities that these characters use are always correlated to the ones in which are shown. And it wouldn't make as much sense if she uses an ability in which is directly and completely uncorrelated to the rest of her abilities. If we're having a translation issue or problem.
Give me 1 second, buddy.
Let me use Gemini.
Nobody has GPT-5 anymore.
Wait, do you need? What is use AI?
Yeah, it's okay. So I sent you don't have an account, so I know you're using ChatGPT free. I don't have an account. I'm using ChatGPT free. The translation I got was completely different than yours.
Look, bro,
the
like
kanji,
I'm not even trying to have the translation to me. I just explained how the point would still follow even if the translations were having a clash. But I mean, I don't know if you're like
I'll apologize.
I'm not
I'll
sure.
apologize because when you were explaining, I was asking Oshi some shit and I was trying to get a translation myself. So I didn't fully hear you. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna try to get a different translation. Literal translation. Hold on. Let me see. In armor of flesh, blah blah, and liquid metal that changes, blah blah. Natural flesh armor. But why is it sending like? Can you use the first panel where it's describing the CE and then it goes into the second panel, which is talking about the armor? Because the flow is weird. But the entire point is that, typically speaking, whenever we see sorcerers use abilities, it's the case that their CT is correlated with the ability, or what they use is correlated with the abilities that we've seen, rather than them pulling out completely unrelated abilities.
Yeah, everything's related to construction.
Yeah, but the point of contention is whether or not the construction that she has is based upon liquid armor or not. So whenever you say it's related to construction, that just presupposes your thesis regarding the ability, and that goes back to the original point. That's called going circular.
I thought you were just asking me a question, because we're just trying to currently figure something out. I wasn't really.
Wait, what question did I ask?
About the relation between the abilities that she's using. I was saying that the relation would be construction, not necessarily the liquid armor or the liquid metal.
Okay. Well, now that you know that, I'm asking for an argument. Do you have one?
Yeah. So for one, I want you to repeat the argument you made earlier because I didn't.
Oh, let's read what he said. After constructing numerous weapons and becoming blah blah blah. Blah, blah, to change its volume while maintaining its stable physical properties through semi-autonomous, blah, blah. After forging countless weapons and maturing its seasoned sorcery, Yorozu ultimately arrived at a new creation, liquid metal, capable of altering its volume while keeping its physical. But this nigga, yo, we need both. Like, Oshi, we need it for both scans.
We need
the argument.
The second one too, Oshi.
Yeah, but the argument is simply, even if we were to say that there's a translation clash, which I believe that both interpretations or both translations affirms what I'm saying, even if we were to say that were the case, the way that alongside, I don't need this, but alongside the way that the liquid armor is described, I apologize, the liquid metal is described, it says that it's able to control and maintain its physical properties while changing its volume and size and whatever. It's the case that I believe that typically in JJK, when we see people use abilities, they're typically correlated to their overall CT rather than using overall unrelated abilities. And for you to say that the ability is just construction, the entire point of contention is whether or not the construction ability is something which is based upon liquid armor and that she uses liquid armor to construct things, or if it's the construction ability independent of liquid armor. Like, obviously, that's going to be something which is less likely.
Well, no, she constructs things out of her cursed energy.
Bro, yeah. Do you want to conclude that doesn't respond? Like, I believe that she used
bro. I'm not done. I'm not done.
She used to create liquid metal.
Yeah, but I'm not done. But so I was saying,
you understand,
bro, dude. Can I get done?
Nigga, now you see how I feel. Like, what the fuck? Go, bro.
Yes, bro. I've changed my ways.
Okay.
But what's
wow.
my call? What was I saying, bro? My train of thoughts fucked up. Yeah, I was saying, so Yorozu's armor would be related to the construction as well as the liquid metal would both be related to the construction, saying that she can turn the liquid metal into armor, changing the colors of it and all that. Nothing but an assumption. I don't know why we would ever conclude that. The statements saying that I'm not done. But
wow.
Bro, why you acting like you can't have fun spurging sometimes, bro?
Bro.
Come on, bro.
Yo, finish, bro. Go ahead.
But, what was I going? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the only translation that would back up what you're saying, which we would conclude to be inaccurate based on multiple others saying the opposite, is her saying that in Viz saying that she uses that liquid metal in order to construct the bug armor. But in the other ones, it just says she developed the liquid metal, and then it says she also has the bug armor. It says and then the bug armor.
Yeah, so I don't see why it's not just talking about the application. And then secondly speaking, whenever you say that there only exists
but how would you conclude it's the application?
I literally like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm just missing that. You just say that after, bro. Like, yes, I have to respond to the entire realm you just gave, bro. You can't just
trolling, bro. I'm trolling. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sure, bro. Yeah, for sure, bro. But whenever you said that there exists multiple translations and which favors you, I don't grant that they favor you for one. And then two, I have two translations. You're acting like I just have one. Or actually, I'm pretty sure I have three, but I can just say I have two translations. And then thirdly speaking, the entire point is that if it's the case that, for example, the color shit, whenever you say that I have an assumption, for you to say that it can't change the colors would also be an assumption. I'm not sure where you brought that up, but your point is just more ontologically, or just less ontologically parsimonious. And I'll clarify that after if you don't know what that means.
Bro,
and
you
then
did not take alongside that shit serious.
Oh, oh wait, was that a troll?
Look, obviously that was a fucking troll.
Okay, I was about to say, okay, well, let me just respond just in case. Yeah, so when we're talking about a chemical reaction, the substance only changes essentially if it's the case that there is a chemical change. The color is a physical change, not a chemical change, just to clarify, because that's talking about how light reacts to the physical properties in which exist. But that's just a response to that just in case. No, but yeah.
That was just some fun shit. But
do you want to move on?
Yeah, I don't think we need to argue anymore about this. I mean, I don't think that there's anything here to ever imply that she uses the liquid metal to construct the armor. Seems like she's just using her construction technique. This is just me wrapping up, at they specifically respond.
And then let me explain
what you want to, but it seems like she's just using
let me elaborate on the ontological
technique.
Yeah, let me elaborate on the virtue. So I'm just saying that my point is more ontologically virtuous or more parsimonious because your claim or your hypothesis has more unwarranted assumptions. I'm going to say that she has construction, which both allows her to independently from liquid metal actualize these other abilities or weapons. While I'm saying that the construction is based upon the liquid metal, which is only one thing, because we're saying the construction is modeled off of this one liquid metal thing, while you're saying the construction is modeled off of liquid metal and other types of substances independent of liquid metal.
Can I ask a question real quick? We both understand she constructed the liquid metal, right? Do you think she made liquid metal based on liquid metal?
By construction, hold on, just to clarify. By construction, I don't believe it's talking about, by construction, I believe it's talking about molded out of the type of CE that she has. So I believe that she uses CE to create, I believe she uses CE to create liquid metal, and I believe that the CT itself is talking about what she constructs off of the liquid metal. So I believe that she's able to create things off of the liquid metal. But her CE, which is the activation of the CT, allows for liquid metal. So she uses CE to activate her CT, which the CT is construction off of liquid metal. And then obviously your point would just be less.
How are you getting to that conclusion?
Yeah, let's move on. I already explained that like 5 times, bro.
No. Hold on.
You keep saying no, like I explained this.
Nigga, bro, calm down. We're chilling now. We got all that shit up. We're cooling.
But I don't want to repeat a point 10 times. Like, can we move on, bro? Like that ass.
Okay, just give me the gist. Give me the gist. Maybe I'm just not remembering, right?
Well, in this way, you sound like an apologist and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, my bad. Go ahead.
Okay. Because maybe I just don't not remember.
No. You definitely tried to attack it, so you definitely heard it. You just didn't attack because.
Yeah, I say remember. Maybe I'm just not remembering right now. Okay. So
and I'm saying that.
So what is the basis that her CE just allows for liquid metal?
Wait. Just to clarify, hold on. Do you not agree that she can create liquid metal out of her CE?
I think she creates it out of her CE, flowing it into her CT.
Okay, and that obviously would have more unwarranted assumptions. But hold on, let me just see if there's a scan.
That's how you activate curse techniques.
Bro, like, come on, bro. Like, we have to chill.
Like, Yorozu's curse technique is construction. Depending on her training,
yes,
she can
wait.
Bro, I
was the one talking. You interrupted me. Like, what the fuck?
Say swear to God I interrupted you.
I swear I was the one saying I'm going to look, and then you interrupted me and say that's how. Anyways, I believe that the entire point is that my side is expecting the construction to be correlated to a model. So the ability itself is the model, but the construction is something which is derived from the model. So with this liquid metal in which
where does the model come from?
CE, I already said this. That's my opinion. I don't know why you're laughing. I've been saying this the entire time.
Hold up, no. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it now anyway, but I don't understand where the fuck you're getting that from.
Wait, just to clarify, hold on. The evidence that's getting what? That the CE is imbued into the liquid metal to increase the
that liquid metal is just a byproduct of her CE in the construction.
I already gave the likelihood. Like, you just didn't respond. There's no argument for your side, but alongside that, I would like to send a scan. Please, can we stop?
Oh, go ahead. Go for it.
Thank you, man. Actually, it might have been seen already.
I never noticed that this shit was not liquid metal.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's not. But I never noticed that.
It definitely is.
I'm talking to myself. Never noticed that.
And I'm interrupting your inner monologue. I'm saying that. But anyways. Was a solution.
Wait, so quick question, Infinity. You think that Sukuna, for example, he separates the liquid metal and insect armor for no reason? Because they're the same.
I think he separates the application.
Okay.
Well, hold
on. Would you understand in the thing he's talking about the technique, right?
He's talking about how the technique is applied.
No, he's talking about what she constructs.
Where? What are you talking about? What scan? Are you not talking about when he's using the reindeer shit?
No, here. Check here. This is Viz, because you were using Viz. I can get TCBs as well. Say virtually the same thing.
Bro, I don't think you understand. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. The liquid metal hardens, so it creates something else. It creates an armor. So that's why he separates the application. So for my interpretation to be true, it's the case that there's application distinction. For your interpretation to be true, it's the case that these two things are distinct completely. However, obviously, you believe that I didn't give any evidence for my interpretation, which I believe I did. I believe you didn't give any evidence for your interpretation, which is why I'm saying we should move on. Obviously, under my interpretation, it's simply going to be that the type of liquid metal application is going to be distinct, which is why he separates them relevantly speaking.
Wait, hold on, wait. So you gotta slow down.
My bad. Yeah, so I believe that. Yeah, so I believe that it is liquid metal that is hardened, just to clarify. So it's hardened, meaning that there is a relevant distinction between the two. You have regular liquid metal, in which he uses to construct objects or manipulate or whatever, punch Sukuna with it or whatever. And then she has the liquid metal, in which is hardened, that turns into an armor. So if that is true, that means that these applications are distinct and he can separate them without specifying that it's application, because obviously Sukuna, unlike us, knows that, quote unquote, has reached the conclusion about the ability that's 100% probably regarding the construction itself. And then also whether or not it's an inclusive or was also the thing that we talked about before.
No, we talked about that with the end.
Yeah, bro, that's obviously an inclusive or though. I'm talking about this now. I was saying how we mentioned.
Did you say we talked about it before? We haven't talked about this before.
We talked about it inclusive or. Like, I'm not saying this specific.
Okay. I get you.
But yeah,
I'll respond in a second.
Okay.
Okay. And real quick, I want your. I think you'll just say the same thing, but I just want to know. You think here he's saying no matter what you construct, you'll always make it with the liquid metal or hardened liquid metal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, just making sure.
Wait. You're talking about the last part. No matter what you construct, you'll always make it with the liquid metal or the insect armor you're using. You're used to using. Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense because she doesn't use the liquid. Yeah, obviously this translation's flawed because she doesn't use the armor to create things. So yeah, obviously I believe that they're talking about the same thing in terms of like feature, but just the same thing in terms of category, but not application. So this translation wouldn't work because of the failed diction in terms of accurately explaining the situation. While the initial translation you used, I believe it's under my interpretation.
You don't have to break down the translation. I was just wondering how you would respond to it.
I mean, I just want to clear. Do you not agree that this translation fails? Like even under your interpretation, the translation will fail because it doesn't create things.
It truly doesn't matter to me. I think the other translations were just fine. I like I keep saying, I was literally just curious as to what you would say to this. That's it.
Okay. Do you want to move on now?
Yeah, I think we can wrap up and move on.
No. Unlike the other debaters that you debated, I can track. So I'm going to send all the scans. Remember, about the avoidance shit. Unless you want to drop that.
What? I'm sorry. Say it again.
Yeah, unlike the other shitty debaters that you debate, I can track. So I'm going to send the scans about the avoidance burden that you tried to place on me. I don't need to send that many scans. I'm just going to build likelihood that obviously creates a prima facie.
Go for it.
I got you, man. All right, hold on. Go. And just to clarify, the population I'm trying to represent is situations where he has the choice to avoid or block. You understand that, right?
You say population?
Yeah, that's what we do when we're trying to use data to increase the likelihood of something. We're representing a population.
Bro, you talk so funny, bro. Like it's so unique.
I use the correct words. Like, yeah, that's how that works.
No, it's just so unique. Like I don't hear people talk like that.
Yeah, because they don't use the correct words. Yeah, that's what happens when all you do is talk to people like Noodles.
Okay, I don't talk to Noodles, nigga.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why do you keep bringing up Noodles?
But no, if anything, you actually talk a little closer than Noodles. He likes.
I've talked to Noodles a single time in my life.
No, I'm not saying you talk to him. I'm saying you talk more like him.
I talk nothing like Noodles. Noodles is retarded, but
No, we agree. Noodles isn't the smartest guy, but he likes to use bigger words to make up for it.
For sure.
I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
I'm being genuine, bro. I'm not saying that.
One instance of him dodging or attempting to dodge the liquid metal. Go to another one.
Well, I mean, this shit is making fucking spears, bro.
Yes, in which he attempts to dodge. Yes, the entire point is that he can also block the spears. But guess what? Blocking will be more inefficient than dodging.
Yeah, right there. Because this is making spears, man.
No, it will be more inefficient overall because if you dodge, you're minimizing damage. I'll explain. And no, it's not. The reason why it's not is because in every single scenario where you successfully dodge, you're erasing all potential damage. In every single scenario where you block, there's going to be a higher chance of just a minimization of damage or minimalization of damage rather than avoiding all damage. So it's not context dependent. The entire point is that in scenarios where you don't...
You're bringing up a specific context.
Okay, you're saying that, but there's no argument. That's called repeating your claim. You remind me of Noodles because of that. Like,
did you get offended by the Noodles claim? Nigga, what the fuck?
Yes, I did. Because
I'm saying, if you're talking about in the context of minimizing all damage, then yeah, sometimes it can be better to, or it will be better to dodge than to block. but that's not always the case, and it's not always something that you can do. So if someone gets up on you really
That's why I
fast,
said
hold
the
on, I'm not done,
population
I'm
was
not done, I'm not
representing
done,
what
I'm not done, I'm not done, I'm
situations
not
where
done, I'm
it's
not done, I'm
not
not
an
done, I'm not
option,
done, I'm not
not
done,
where
I'm
it
not
is an
done, I'm not
option.
done. Okay, so context dependent. Anyway, I'm not done.
That's the
Wait, I'm
population
not done, I'm not
representing.
done, I'm
Yes,
not
I agree.
done,
The
I'm not done, I'm
population
not
is
done, I'm not
context
done, I'm not
dependent.
done, I'm not done, I'm not done, I'm not done, not done.
What you have to justify is that she's
I'm not
speed.
done.
She's
I'm not
speed
done.
blitz
I'm not done.
Megadeth.
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm
Like
not
even
done. I'm
if
not done.
my
I'm not
claims are
done. I'm
not
not
true,
done.
you
I'm
have to
not done.
justify
I'm
that
not
she's
done.
speed
I'm not
blitz.
done. I'm not done. I already told you. I don't care about that speed blitz.
Okay,
I
so
already
you
said,
dropping it. We don't need to talk about this then. What the fuck?
nigga, bro,
You hold on. You said it was a speed blitz. You dropped that because you realized you
bro.
were wrong, and then you said it was she
No,
outsped him. I
no, no,
disagree
no.
with that. What's the argument
Okay,
as to why she
okay,
outsped him? Why is he going all out?
nigga, can you shut the fuck up? Like, Jesus Christ, why are you talking so fast now? Let me say
Okay,
what I
nigga, I'm
gotta
talking the
say.
same speed. Can
No,
you
you aren't.
justify that she is faster than Meghna or that she outsped Meghna? Yes or no?
Yes, we see that on
Okay, now
panel.
please show that. Okay, now, oh my God. When you say that we see that on panel, I'm asking why these conditions, one, don't apply, and two, why is he going all out?
Do I really need to go through the conditions of versus blocking and dodging again?
It's not about blocking and dodging. The entire point is I don't see why he's going all out overall. Like even independent of his adaptation to Maharaga, I don't see why he would go all out physically speaking overall. And then if you agree, if your argument as to why it would be likely that he's going all out is because he doesn't want to take damage, then avoiding the attacks will be better than blocking the attacks.
But he tries to block the attacks, though. We understand that, right?
When does he try to block it during the Mantis armor or during the armor shit?
He tries to block with Divine Dog right here. And then Yorozu just goes around it.
Yeah. Why? Oh my God, is this stupid? Hold on, let me clarify. I'm the one who agrees that he has I think she has a speed feat. I'm saying that the situation before where she used her armor and then ran up to him my bad, flew up to him. I'm saying that is when he is possibly holding back due to the Maharaga adaptation shit. So after that, he already got hit.
Hold on.
I believe the Maharaga adaptation.
Hold on.
I believe.
Wait. Do you think for some reason Sukuna can't let Maharaga adapt if he puts his arms up?
He can.
Okay, so then why didn't he put his arms up to block?
Bro, are you listening, bro? It's a combination. I believe that he's off guarded by the speed increase, and I believe he's holding back because of the adaptation. But either or can be true, and my point still follow.
Why
but
would he be off guarded by the speed increase?
Oh my God, bro! Like, stop! I already gave evidence for that.
Yeah, I think I went through that well enough.
And that's actually the next point that I was going to go into because I'm going to send more evidence for that.
Dude,
but for the first one instance, that was supposed to be prima facie views. But I was sending evidence that I was talking about.
Yeah, go ahead, send it.
I got you, man. And what I'm about to send is just supposed to be a side thing for something that we already commented on. This is not the evidence that I'm talking about. Peep chats. I don't know why we're riding. Like, obviously people get off guarded by speed increases that happen randomly. But it says even Sukuna leaves an opening when encountering a curse technique for the first time. That's the first thing, which we already talked about. That's not the evidence. I'm just clarifying. And then, or at least that's not the evidence.
Do you want me to respond to this? Earlier, I didn't get to fully respond to it.
Well, before you respond, let me explain the point. The point is that the reason why he leaves an opening is because he's not aware of the ability. But
wait, aware in what sense?
He's not adjusted to the ability, whether it's through having a counter in mind or whether it's through literally having anything prepared. Like, for example, if I'm a like,
you don't have to give an example. You don't have to give an example. I get it. However, I think in the context of Yuta's domain specifically as well, what Yuta's talking about here is the fact that Yuta has a bunch of curse techniques in here. Sukuna doesn't know what he's copied. So Yuta can use a new curse technique.
We justify this talking about that. That's not what it says. It doesn't say that. Yeah. So it says that even Sukuna leaves an opening when encountering a curse technique for the first time. I don't understand why it's in context of the situation specifically, rather than it being the first appearance of a CT. Like, he doesn't. The reason why he's not adjusted is because, well, hold on. One, he doesn't know every single thing that Yuta copied. So the entire point is that he's not aware of these things and which are within the swords. So he's not prepared for the technique that's going to come out of him because they're new to him. That's why Yuta tries to not use the same CT more than once because he already knows that Sukuna's going to be prepared. Most of the things are Yuta off guarding Sukuna or Yuji off guarding Sukuna or Choso off guarding Sukuna because of the plan that Sukuna was not aware of. Like, for example, your curse speech through the megaphone thing or the phone thing. Yes, I'm giving an example because you're writing. Yeah.
I'm not ratting. You just won't let me. You
Hey
won't let me get
Oshi,
done explaining anyway.
hey Oshi, can you send the Hikari Kashimo speed increase shit? Thank you.
Right post this, we can. Pretty sure we could just end the debate.
Huh?
So after this, we could just end the debate.
After what? This point?
After we go through these last few points, we got like a few ongoing right now.
Before we do it, I want to send higher assertive scaling.
What? We said we weren't doing scaling.
I never said I wasn't doing scaling. I said that I don't believe there's any concrete connected scaling between Yorozu and Kashimo. I said this off of what we know, and I'm saying off of what we know, I believe Kashimo has a feat on Sukuna, in which higher assertively puts him above Yorozu due to the lack of feats that Yorozu has a feat. I apologize. Due to the lack of feats that Yorozu has, and which are relevant to the topic. Because I believe the speed feat that Yorozu has on Sukuna is circumstantial, meaning it doesn't qualify as some higher sort of scaling. But yeah, Oshiki in the panel.
Can we just not do that?
And then after that, we can end it. You said what?
Can we just not do that?
I know I'm going to skill my character. Yeah, so look, he gets... So basically before this, Kashimo was dodging and reacted to abilities, and then out of nowhere, he got faster, and he didn't react to the ability. That's one. Like, the way that he fought changed. Like, so obviously, it's just these new things in which are introduced are supposed to be. Yeah.
And
I also showed another
Hikari
one.
Was just too fast for Kashimo?
What justify that that's possible when it comes to narrative, or when it comes to Kashimo's capacity? Because we understand that Kashimo obviously is faster.
Because he couldn't respond? Like, literally, after this, he cannot respond
just to clarify.
Just
to clarify. When you say, or Hikari is faster than Kashimo, does that mean to say that before he was faster as well? Or do you believe that he got a speed increase?
He was holding back.
Speed increase.
Yeah, he got faster.
God. It's not that he was holding back. It's just because he had the restriction, that being the lack of his ability being used. So it's the case that there is a speed increase, and then bro. The way that he fought is modeled off of whether or not the CT is used. The CT is used, therefore he's going to fight more recklessly, which is stated. Now let me finish my points. Now, whenever you say it could be because, well, he's holding back before, and then there's a speed. All right, my bad. Kashimo doesn't have the speed adequate to respond. The point is he's getting even faster. We understand that Kashimo was capable of reacting to Hikari directly after this. So it's not just because he's too quick to respond. It's just that the speed increase is something that Kashimo didn't adjust.
What does Kashimo react to?
I got you. Yo, do you have the chapter?
Yeah, hold on. Let's be clear here. I'm well aware that Kashimo does react to Hikari. I want to know what he reacts to though. That way.
I want to get the chapter.
Oh, it's 188. Because this is the only thing I can think of right here. Is that what you're saying?
Hold on, I just want to see.
I just sent it.
I think I'm talking about the chapter.
Oh.
Wait, are you saying 188 is their fight, or were the scan that Oshi's saying is happening?
Yeah. That the latter.
Oh, nigga. There we go. I don't listen it.
Did I cut out again? Hello? Fuck.
Yeah, have you been talking this whole time?
Oh, we hear you.
No. I was. Fendi said he was sending something. I thought.
No, it is the character you're talking about.
Oh, okay. You think that's Kashimo dodging him?
No, I think it's Kashimo reacting to him.
Yeah, reacting to what?
The attack. He's changing his position to continue the attack.
It looks like to me Hikari is getting Kashimo into position for the elbow.
Bro, what's the evidence for that? Rather than him,
I said that's what it looks like to me. How do you prove that's an attack?
Yeah, can I finish? Lay down.
Oh, my bad.
Anyways, so one, you can go off of the impression or the expression of Kashimo, and then alongside that,
like
by the way, I thought, bro, by the way, I thought you sent this scan. That's what I was talking about. I didn't know you sent that scan.
Oh,
but that's why I said it was the reaction.
What does he react to here? All he does is get grabbed.
He reacts, bro. Like, can I finish, bro? Damn. So he lifts his arm up in response to Akari's head being down. Like he shoulder traps him, or he elbow whatever. He traps him, and then he lifts his arm up as a response so he can punch him.
How do you know that is a response and not something he was already about to do?
Because we can see that his arm was down and that the lift happens after the indicator mark is there.
That's all in the same panel. What are you talking about after?
No, it's not all in the same panel. His arm is down in the middle panel, and then after he grabs his arm, Kashimo leans down and the fist goes up. So it's most likely that being the sequence rather than his arm going up for no fucking reason.
How is that most likely the sequence?
Because there's no reason for his arm to go up. Just because, okay, you're saying
if he's about to throw a combination, for example, like a 2-3, then that would be why the other arm is up.
That Kashimo consistently does that whenever he's fighting Hikari.
I'm not saying he consistently does that. I'm saying that that's a possibility.
If he doesn't do that, it's not nearly possible in character-wise. Yeah, it's not in character for him to do that, so it wouldn't be likely. The entire point.
Okay, is it in character for Kashimo to counterpunch, like you're saying?
I'm not sure, but I'm not saying. Hold on, just to clarify, are you asking if it's in character for him to continue attacking after someone grabbed a hold of his initial attack?
To counterpunch, or whatever.
Okay, we can look at it and see, man. We can look at it and see if it's in character for him to not just let somebody grab a hold of his attack and him not respond to it.
I mean, we could get really minute here. Is it in character for him to respond with an immediate left hand?
It's not just about it being in character for him to respond with an immediately left hand, because that's going to be something which is justified overall if it's the case that he wants to exhaust his abilities in a situation where he needs to, and that's going to be the only attack which would be efficient within the scenario. But nice try though. And then it's going to be evidence as to why he follows up with counterattacks, like he blocked the attack from a counterattack is simply so in this situation he's blocking the attack that Hikari dishes out, and he's attempting to attack himself with the arm that we're talking about, by the way. And then directly after, Hikari deflects his body off of Kashimo, and then as a response he counters again, or he tries to counter again before Hikari uses his domain.
Wait, give me your breakdown of this again. What the fuck did you just say?
Bro, like, come on, bro. And then another situation of him counterattacking this scan. So we definitely know it's in character for him to counterattack, yes. And what scan are you asking for a breakdown for?
The second one you said. Or I'm sorry. Let me.
Yeah, so Hikari tries to.
I just replied to
Hikari tried to attack him. He grabs and then tries to attack with the arm that we're talking about. So it's the same arm, and then he is counterattacking. Are you sure
that's what's happening? Is there something in the page before that shows Hikari initiated?
Bro, so you think his fist is up for no reason?
No.
Yo, Oshi, can you use your recording to zoom in real quick on the fist being up?
Listen. Calm down. Hikari could be the one responding.
Why would Hikari be the one responding? So you think he's going to put his arm in Kashimo's fist? Obviously, that's not true, okay?
No. Nigga, chill, bro. Calm the fuck down. Why do you think
I'm about to do some type of ridiculous... You know you don't believe this. Like, nigga, come on.
Bro, come on now. This is 100% possible. That Hikari...
I don't grant that, though. And I got you, by the way. Look. It doesn't matter. Look. Right. By the way, this also should be a speed increase because he grabs jackpot, meaning that it's the case he's going to start fighting reckless again. And it still follows that Kasho... Did I send it?
No, yeah,
I'll just send it right now.
Wait, calm down, calm down. He didn't grab jackpot. No. This isn't jackpot.
No, he did. Wait,
no, this isn't jackpot. No,
it says Akari redoing one consecutive. Bro, chill. Anyways, it's a continuation from the domain, which I can say in the domain just.
Yes,
my
continuation
bad.
from the domain.
My bad. When I say jackpot, I literally mean it's like healing state. My bad. I don't mean actual jackpot. That's my fault. But yes, it's a continuation. Yeah, it's a continuation, meaning that the time was expanded. It's times 2, and you can see him coming up for the punch, in which is extended. The punch is extended because obviously it goes from by there.
Wait, what?
Like by his hand.
That's a different hand.
No, it's not, bro. Are we talking about 2 different situations, bro?
No,
that's not a different hand.
Hold on. Let me.
What do you think I'm saying, bro?
Wait, I'm gonna send the thing right here, right? You're saying this is him getting ready for this punch.
You said what? No, bro. Yeah, I'm not saying that fist is the same fist.
You said we see him getting ready for the punch.
Yes, because he's lowering himself for the punch, and then he goes up to punch. What Kashimo does doesn't make any sense if it were the case that Akari's the one responding to Kashimo's attack, because what Kashimo does is put his arm as a response to fucking Akari, and that nigga Kashimo's, whatever he's attacking his head or whatever, whether it's a punch or a facepalm, whatever it is.
That just seemed circular. It didn't seem like you addressed what I said at all.
Why does it seem circular, bro? Like,
Because within your breakdown of the sequence just then, while you were trying to justify that Kashimo didn't attack first, you said Kashimo attacked first.
Well, it doesn't matter if he attacked first. The entire point is that the continued attack is supposed to be a counterattack, because Kashimo.
Hold on, that's not even. Hold on, I just.
Hold on. Let me clarify. It doesn't matter who attacked first. A counterattack is simply just an attack in which is supposed to be a response to another attack. Hold on, let me finish, please, bro. A counterattack.
No, you're lying. I think you're right.
You know that you're wrong. Let me finish.
No, you're ratting. That's not even before what you sent. That's not before what you sent.
Okay, I'll send it, bro. Chill, bro.
Damn. No, why did you lie and say that this was the scan that came before?
I'll send it, bro.
Wait, but why did you lie?
You can say whatever you want to say after. I don't know what you're talking about currently. Hold on. All a counterattack means is simply an attack as a response to some process or movement. Okay? So even if it's the case that he didn't initiate the sequence, it still follows that
he did
the attack is supposed to be in a continuation. Huh?
So you told me that right here we see Hikari loading up for the punch. This isn't even from the same sequence. You just lied.
Yo, are you? I'm not talking about. Yo, I'm not talking about the second panel. I'm talking about when he face palms.
When who face palms?
Kashimo face palms him, and then as a response, Hikari attempts to attack. And then as a response, Kashimo grabs his arm and hits him on the head again. I never said at all.
You didn't say that.
Because I'm explaining the sequence. As I'm seeing the panels. You keep on interrupting me. That's why I never got to send the fucking panel. Stop talking. And you'll get to see the panel. Stop talking.
Nigga, how the fuck, bro? No. Hell no.
I'm explaining that right now. You keep on interrupting me. Shut up.
Bro.
Damn.
I think you're lying, but whatever. Go ahead.
Bro. Yo. What am I lying about?
Go ahead, nigga.
Okay. So if you were tracking, the entire point is that there are multiple occurrences where there is a counterattack present. I was first explaining what a counterattack is, and I'm explaining how he's charging this punch up to lead into a different punch, okay? And then I'm going to send that, but for the first panel, that is what happens before the first panel, okay? Now I'm going to talk about that after I send the panel for the other thing. Let me know if I said this, because you obviously think I'm lying, okay? So let's go step by step. Did I not say that he's bending down and that he's going to extend the fist up? Did I not say that for this panel I just sent? Did I not say that, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Now, 6, tell me what he's doing in this scan. Is he extending the fist past where it was initially?
No.
I'll answer for you.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
No. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
No,
bro, like you know that you're wrong. Like you know that you're wrong.
You're being dishonest. How am
I being dishonest?
Hold on. Because when I sent it earlier, the recording will reflect all of this, right? But you know what I'm talking about right here. When I sent it earlier, I said, you're saying that...
I never said that was the sequence.
Yes, you did.
I said... Listen, I said the sequence was him going down, preparing for a punch, and then extending this arm up. Did I not literally say that?
Dude,
I never said the sequence with the panels.
When
I never said the sequence with the panels.
When I sent those two back to back, I said, okay, so you're saying this is him loading.
I wasn't looking at chat. I'm not talking about that.
Bro, swear to God you weren't looking at chat.
I swear to God I wasn't looking at chat. I wasn't talking about that. I was explaining my sequence.
You say you're not looking at chat? I'm just gonna believe you. Okay? I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt that you just weren't looking at chat.
No, I was looking at the panel. Obviously, I was literally describing the sequence of the panels. But just to clarify real quick, when I was talking about his arm not being the one in which punched him, I was talking the arm not being going. I was talking about his arm preparing for the extension. So I'm saying in the first instance, the arm is not the thing in which is not the thing in which is punching him, because nothing is punching him. It's him bending over for the preparation of the sequence. In the second panel that I sent, did I send it? Yeah, I did. In the second panel that I sent, he extends, and then as a response to the attack, he blocks and then counter strikes directly after with a palm. Now, I can explain the first panel as well. The first panel is supposed to be the exact same thing. However, there was no extension. All that counter attack is supposed to be an attack in response to some other motioner, or I apologize, some other being in which is responding to you or attempting to attack you, which we see that he was doing that. And the thump comes exactly at the same time as the grab, or the thump comes after the grab. He smacked him twice.
Cool.
Do you agree?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wasn't listening. I'm assuming you were just breaking down why Kashimo counter punches in a long way. Fair enough. I hope that's what you were doing, because I genuinely could not keep paying attention to all those fucking words, bro. I'm sorry.
Like, okay, I'll break it down, bro.
Please don't. Please. I'm dead ass begging you, don't do it.
Okay, are we done, bro? Okay, let me just clarify. So I believe that he just dismantles the armor.
Fucking God, bro.
I'm clarifying all the points that we talked about so far. We can end the debate after that. Like, calm down. So I believe that she uses the armor, which I justify was like either in. But I believe she uses the armor. That's what she starts off with. I believe that because of the known scaling that we have, the higher sort of scaling is. Oh yeah, let me send that. I forgot to send that. Yeah, this defeat that I'm talking about for the higher sort of scaling. He reacts to Sukuna. And he turns around and reacts to Sukuna. Sukuna gets behind him, tries to upload him. Huh?
And?
What'd you say?
Who gives a fuck? What about it?
Okay, we can leave the debate off there, but you cannot track.
Okay, he reacts to Sukuna. I think I'm saying, and what?
Yeah, higher sort of scaling. That's what I just said 3 times.
How does this give him higher sort of scaling?
Because there's nothing that Yorozu has that compares to this feat.
What is this feat? Like scale the feat.
The feat is I'm scaling the feat. He responds to a Sukuna in which is massively above most of the verse. Like, for example, Sukuna versus Yuji. He is blitzing Yuji. He is above piercing blood. Yorozu has no showcase above piercing blood.
Do you think that Sukuna's going all out? Is that what you're saying? Like,
I do, but that's irrelevant either way, because even if we say that he's not going all out, I don't grant that he's going all out against most of the people that he fought, and he's still massively above him in terms of like blitzing them and shit.
Okay,
like, for example, Choso and Yuji.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. Do you think that he's trying the same amount on all those people? Because not going all out is just a vague term.
Here we go with the rap. See, so I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't believe that he's trying the same amount. I believe against Yuji, he's trying the least at the start of the battle, and that's the person that I can use. Like, Yuji at that time most likely is above piercing blood, for example. I don't believe that Yorozu has anything above piercing blood.
What the fuck are you talking about direct piercing blood? You don't think that
Mach 1 piercing blood at its top speed is Mach 1?
Holy fucking shit,
bro. He hold on. He avoids piercing blood. He avoids Choso. He avoids Yuji.
Wait, 1 second.
I believe that he would go against Kashimo the most because of the.
Wait, hold on. Wait, 1 second. I just need to ask this. We can argue about it if need be, but are you telling me you think that if Choso shot piercing blood at Yorozu, it would just hit her?
If it's a fully charged piercing blood, I don't believe that Yorozu has any speed scaling, which is why I literally told you before we listen. I told you before the debate. Can you stop? I told you before. I told you no, because I believe Kenjaku literally got blitzed by an attack that is slower than piercing blood. I don't believe Yorozu is massively above Kenjaku. You can see that on my tier list, so you know I'm not riding. And
what technique did Kenjaku get blitzed by?
Yeah, so Chosu. Yeah, that's why you have to read the series before saying that someone's riding. I'll send a scan. Hold on. I think we have to use our brains. I can't just talk with her asshole. Like, come on.
I don't know what the fuck you're interpreting is that. I might know exactly what feat you're talking about.
Okay. You're riding, that's why. Yeah, Kenjaku got hit by an attack by fucking Choso. So obviously someone like Yorozu is not messing with above Kenjaku's. Not having any speed feats above
hit by
crazy. I got you, bro, since you didn't read the series. Like,
why are you saying I didn't read the series? Because I don't know what you're referencing when you're being vague.
I'm not being vague. He only got hit by one fucking attack by Choso that's relevant. Look, he got blitzed by Choso.
He got blitzed by Choso.
Yes, Choso and extended up.
You are genuinely you are one of the funniest niggas, bro. I cannot lie.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
This is Kenjaku getting blitzed by Choso.
Yes, in every single situation prior to this, he tried to avoid all the blood techniques, but he didn't avoid this one.
Okay, does he know Choso can do this?
It's irrelevant whether or not he knows he can do it, because one, if it's the case that he didn't adjust to it, then that would help my point earlier that you disagree with it. And secondly speaking, the reason why it wouldn't most likely be that is because of the distance between the two. So it's the case that even someone like Yuji, who wasn't adapted to piercing blood at all at the time, he only seen piercing blood once, and it wasn't charged at all. He didn't know the distance or the speed or anything. It's the case he was able to predict the technique in terms of speed, and that's the same thing for every other technique that Choso used. So it's the case that the distance renders the lack of adaptability useless because it's a far distance, and if he was significantly above the ability, he would be able to respond to it. And that's the point. Go ahead and respond. And I don't believe that Yorozu's above Kenny. I don't believe that Yorozu's above Kenny, significantly speaking, in terms of speed. There's no argument for that. And I hope you wouldn't say that, because that's obviously right.
What, the Yorozu's above Kenny? I don't think that's
by a blitz level.
Yeah, I don't think that's too important.
Okay, so what speed feats does Yorozu have at all? Because the entire point is that I don't believe there's any connected speed scaling other than higher assertive scaling, and Yorozu has no higher assertive scaling.
Well, I think I argued the Sukuna thing well enough whenever she was fucking him up.
You didn't even shout at sure. Like, let's leave it off there.
I didn't what?
You didn't justify anything. You just said your belief. Like, I understand you believe that.
Okay. We can just move on. Yeah, you're right. I didn't justify it at all.
Great. I know, that's why I just said that.
Yeah. I'm obviously being sarcastic, by the way.
Yeah, I understand that you believe that.
Oh, yeah, and obviously, domain expansion, true sphere.
Okay, so I don't believe it's in. Yeah. So if it's the case that her armor obviously increases her speed, which it does 100%, then follows. Hold on, before we get to. Okay, you're talking about that. I'm dismissing that. But when it comes to domain, I believe that he just blitzes her within her base, considering her feats on a Megana prior to her armor. So it is the case that her speed does increase, and then the higher sort of scaling allows him to blitz her in the base alongside. I don't even know if she can use domain, considering the electricity and how it affect her. Can literally just explode her body through the electric currents.
I'm sorry. Were you making a point?
I'm not sure if domain is something that she would use in character as the start of the battle. Like, there's no evidence for that. She uses it whenever her armor is broken. No, I'm clarifying the points, bro. Calm down. I'm explaining each sequence. So if she uses it at the start, I don't believe that's in character, so you can't show that. She doesn't use that to start against Sukuna. If she uses it when she de-transforms, I don't grant that the speed is going to be adequate when it comes to responding to Kashimo simply just blitzing her. And then I'm not even sure the domain is going to be effective against Kashimo at all in terms of determining who wins the battle because of everything that Kashimo has. Like, after the armor gets after she gets de-transformed, I'm not sure if she can use domain and due to Kashimo just blitzing her in her base. Especially since of the way that it's going to be dis-transformed, like it's going to fuck up her body. What's your response?
We would just go over output versus Kashimo's technique and whatnot again. Not really going to be important.
Okay. I'm saying, okay, I didn't hear an argument as to why. Okay, sure.
Do you think that Kashimo's technique negates durability or some shit? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, we know that's true. Electricity negates conventional durability 100%. But that's talking about the trait, though. That's
not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about as far as the lightning, like striking.
Yes, because electricity is able to fuck with your mind independent of the conventional durability. Yeah.
And what? I'm talking about blowing her body parts off.
It can explode, or if you're asking whether or not it's durability negation, I believe that some electric, bro. You say can it bypass her durability? Did you not say can it bypass her durability?
Yes, that's it.
I believe it can. I said yes, but that's irrelevant because even if it doesn't bypass her durability due to the things that I said, I still believe he has enough AP to damage her. But that's irrelevant, okay? Like, the fuck? She has no feats at all. There's nothing that she has that gets her above Kashimo. We're going off of what we know. That's
what's Kashimo, but Kashimo has no AP to begin with.
When you say he has no AP, hold on, that is so right. He literally damaged Hikari, blew his entire thing off.
What's Hikari's
that as well?
feat or Hikari's durability fees?
Hikari probably is physically above you to considering the statement for one, and then two is the case that Hikari is named as one of the Like, we're just gonna do the Q&A shit. Like, if you want to learn from me, I can teach you, but calm down. But yeah, it's
just
one.
Tell me what statement. There's a few of them that people like to point to.
Let me finish what I was saying, bro. Like, damn, calm down. I'm about to answer the question. Shut up.
No.
Interrupt me to ask a question. Shut up. I'm about to answer the question. Shut the fuck up.
Are you going to tell me the statement?
The one is durability is highlighted from the Kashimo.
Are you going to tell me the statement? Are you going to tell me the statement?
The statement I'm talking about. Are you serious, bro? The statement I'm talking about is the one that Yuta makes to Megami and Yuji, although I don't agree with the statement. I do believe bare minimum is talking about their physical relativity, or at least Hikari being physically stronger, which obviously is going to include durability, but also his durability is highlighted during the Kashimo fight, but it's supposed to be higher assertive. It doesn't matter if he has any feats, like Hikari has any feats, as long as he has the AP to damage somebody.
No, in order for it to be a higher assertion, there would need to be a feat to scale it off of.
No, that's connective scaling.
No,
the entire point is that it's bare minimum above the average person. It's above the average person.
That's all you're saying?
It's
everybody's above the average person here.
That's not true, but it's significantly above
all the people we're talking about. Yes, they're above the average.
I don't grant that her reinforcement is good though. We're talking about her base.
My fucking God. Okay.
I don't grant that her durability and her base is above the average sorcerer. I agree that 100% her armor is above the average sorcerer in terms of durability.
Okay, now we're changing the average.
But bro, before we get to that, hold on. But what he does to negate her armor is not durability based. It's conductive electricity, in which negates there's not conventional durability at least. But how am I changing the average? What are you talking about?
You said as long as it's above a normal person. Now you're saying as long as it's above a normal sorcerer.
I was talking about in sorcery, obviously. I'm not changing the average. It's just clarification because you obviously were writing. Like, obviously, I'm not talking about a fucking human being. Like, yes, Hikari's above the average sorcerer.
That's not writing at all. All I'm saying is that it's higher sort of scaling.
Because you're trying to mislead what I'm saying. No, that's called connective scaling. That has nothing to do with higher.
I'm saying assertive scaling, and connective scaling. Like the way people like to use it, I understand.
I don't give a fuck about the way people do them because they suck. I'm the best debater. I'm talking about higher assertive scaling.
Okay, even if you are the best debater, you're not.
I am.
The way you're using assertive scaling would either be just nothing, or it would have to connect somewhere for the assertion.
Your claim about your belief. Yeah, that's what's in question. We can conclude. Like, you just repeated yourself again.
Okay.
Okay.
You think so?
All right. Are we done? I know so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently people don't get off guarded by techniques in which have an increase in speed randomly. Yo, W6, bro.
Yeah, it's not being off guarded. I don't know why you're acting like all I was saying there was that that's not explicitly.
Now you want to clarify. It doesn't have to be explicitly stated or anything.
I didn't say explicitly stated. All I said was
that's why I didn't say stated. I said anything. I said
you said stated
or anything.
Okay.
I said just. That's why I didn't just say stated. It's stated or anything.
Okay.
You have to listen to that entire thing.
Okay.
We don't debate with our booty holes. We debate with our mouths and our ears. But are we done?
Yeah, we've been done.
All right.